Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss Vashishtha Samhita. As we all know, UGC NET syllabus. First of all, whenever you start studying for any competitive exam, you must be mindful of the syllabus. So here in Hatha Yoga text Vashishtha Samhita, we have to study the introduction of the text about the asana, what all asanas are discussed in this particular text, the pranayamas discussed here, and Bandha Mudra, which has not been discussed. But other than that, there are many certain factors like samadhi, dhyan, different types of pratyahara, which has been discussed. We have to go through that particular things. So dealing with this particular text, we must know the introduction or about the text. So this text is basically originated around 1150 years old, which is a dialectical text. Means there is a dialogue between sage Vashisht and his son Shakti, or his disciple and son, both the role he is playing here. And apart from this, total number of chapters in this text are 8, from which we only have to study the 6 chapters, that is the Yog Kand. The remaining 2 are the other, this Gyan Khan or Gyan Vyakhyan, in which there are other knowledge like about the zodiac and other things have been discussed in this particular text. But here, for our UGC NET preparation, we only have to go with the 6th chapter, that is from the Yog Kand. And the first 4 chapters of this particular text describes mainly about yoga, and it is also known as Yoga Khyan. That is the chapters dealing with yoga, and the remaining 4 are about the knowledge. So Jnana Khyan, or the chapters dealing with Jnana or knowledge. So the text particularly deals with, if somebody or the question is asked that what is the main content of Vashishtha Samhita, and options are Gyan, Ashtang Yoga and Karma Yoga, then the option will be Gyan Yoga. Or the composite options are there, for example, Gyan Yoga, Ashtang Yoga, Karma Yoga, and the other types of yoga. Then you have to select the Gyan Yoga, Ashtang Yoga and Karma Yoga option. Hope I'm clear with you all guys, right? Just let me know if I'm going very fast or very slow, so that I can just change my pace while studying, okay? And the most famous quote of this particular text is Gyan Karma Samuchaya. So from last few years, UGC NET is directly asking shlokas or the particular content. So here you have to remember the Gyan Karma Samuchaya is taken from Vashishtha Samhita. Next, what all things we have to go through? First, we have to know the outline of the chapters. Means what all things are discussed in which particular chapters, because it can also be asked. So number of shlokas in each chapter is given here. In chapter 1 there are 84 shlokas, in chapter 2 there are 69 shlokas, in chapter 3 there are 75 shlokas, in chapter 4 there are 73 shlokas, in chapter 5 there are 55 shlokas, in chapter 6 there are 61 shlokas, and in chapter 7 and 8 there are 74 and 44 shlokas respectively. Whereas in total there are total 535 shlokas dealing with the Yoga Kand. Further, we have to go through the chapter summary. That is the outline of the textbook, what I have said just now. That chapter 1 mainly deals with the description of Lord Brahma, because the sage Vashisht gained this knowledge of salvation from Brahma only. So he is describing about the Brahma, features of Brahma, then means of liberation. Then because the Shakti or his disciple or son asked about the liberation, what are the means of liberation, what are the means of getting rid of all these sufferings, death and rebirth. So here they have discussed means of liberation as 2. In this particular chapter, they have discussed about 2 types of karmas or actions, that is pravartak and nirvartak, that is motivating and liberating karmas. Along with that, chapter 1 deals with 10 yamas, 10 niyamas, and 10 asanas. So you have to remember that yam, niyam, asan has been discussed in chapter 1, and these all are 10 in numbers, which we'll discuss in the further slides. So from the next chapter, that is chapter 2, It discusses about the Deh Madhya, that is an important topic. Here I have also added the Sanskrit or Hindi terminologies because you must be aware of, because UGC NET questions are like, they're not very strict to the language thing. So Deh Madhya, that is the center of the body, their position, their characteristics have been discussed. Kand, what is Kand? Position of the Kand and characteristics. Then about the Kundalini, that eightfold Kundalini is present in center of the Kand, and all these things have been discussed in chapter 2. Then Nadi, Pran, Vayus have been discussed. So total number of Nadi which is said in Vashishtha Samhita is 72,000. You have to remember this particular point. Then out of this 72,000, it has been said that 14 are important, 3 are of most important, and 1, that is Shushumna, is of the supreme importance, or utmost important is the Shushumna Nadi. Then they have dealt with 10 types of prana or vayus, the Panch Pran and the Panch Upprans, and their location and functions in detail. Then place of practice, where one should practice the yogic sadhanas or pranayam, nadi shuddhi, and all has been discussed. General rules to practice or the prerequisites before doing the nadi shuddhi or pranayam, that is regarding bath, that is you have to take 3 times bath per day, your body position, facing direction, asanas, which asana you should perform nadi shuddhi, and all these things have been discussed in chapter 2. And then they have discussed the procedure of Nadi Shuddhi here in the chapter 2, and the purification of Nadi results in which types of signs has been discussed in the chapter 2. So in chapter 1, we have dealt that types of karma, description of Brahma, then your yam, niyam and asan. Chapter 2 discussed with Deh Madhya, Kand, Kundalini, Nadi, Pran or Vayu, then place of practice, general prerequisite and Nadi Shuddhi. Then the chapter 3 discuss with the pranayama. And the Omkar pranayama is the main content of the Vashishtha Samhita, that is about the pranayama. And this particular type of pranayama has been correlated with the 3 syllable of Om, that is A, U or Ma, or A, U or M, which has been related with the Purak, Rechak and Kumbhak, that is inhalation, retention and exhalation. And their procedure have been discussed. Then there are 3 categories of pranayama practitioners which have been discussed here. Later, they have described or classified the pranayama into 3 types. Basically, they have also classified prana as the Purak, Rechak and Kumbhak, that is components of pranayama. And there are 2 types of Kumbhakas, Sahit and Keval Kumbhak, which has been discussed in this particular 3rd chapter. Then the important concept which has been asked 2-3 times in previous year questions, that is pranajay. Pranajay, how to conquer or how to win over your prana, has been discussed in pranayam or the chapter 3rd. Then about the nadas, 3 nad sound have been discussed here, that is conch, clouds or thunder and waterfall. 3 nadas have been discussed here in the chapter 3. And then Vashishtha or sage Vashishtha tells us about the how to leave the body. Means if one has attained the ultimate knowledge, karma and gyan, with balancing karma and gyan, one have attained the ultimate knowledge, how one should leave their body. And then he dealt about the pratyahara, types of pratyahara and their benefits in the chapter 3. In chapter 4, there are dharana, that is 5 dharanas along with the relation with elements, body association, their color, deity, bij mantra, everything in this 4th chapter. And the most important recently interested topic is 18 vital points or 18 marma points of the body. Then 6 types of dhyana in total, or we can say in broad 2 types of dhyana are there, that is sagun dhyan and nirgun dhyan. And sagun dhyan are of 5 types and nirgun is the only one. So description of heart chakra or hridaya chakra has been discussed in the 4th chapter. Characteristics of Lord Vishnu, because the sage Vashishtha was a propagator of Lord Vishnu, or he worshipped Lord Vishnu. Then 5 types of sagun dhyana has been described, and samadhi is discussed in this particular 4th chapter only. Later, In chapter 5th, they have described about the soul, nature of soul, then components of the world or Shishtikram, that is enjoyer, enjoyment. These all things have been related with your senses, body, knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragya, which is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. This also have been discussed in the chapter 5th of the Vashishtha Samhita. Then 4 stages of being have been discussed along with 3 types of causal body. Then signs of death, because Shakti asked in the later section of this particular text, Shakti asked Sage Vashish that what are the signs of death and how one can calculate the time of death from the present. So this all things have been discussed in chapter 5th. Then 12 zodiac, which is also known as Rashis, have been discussed, as you can see in this particular table or image. This all 12 Rashis have been discussed, which are further classified into 3 types: chal, achal, and mixed, that is movable, immovable, and mixed types. Then the zodiac in relation to planets, swar, or the active nostril or vayu knowledge, which has been discussed in the chapter 5th of the Vashishtha Samhita. Later in the last chapter of our particular concern, that is Yog Kand, it has been discussed the means to get rid of death or suffering, means how we can liberate ourselves, how we can attain salvation. So the sage Vashish told the 4 means to get rid of death or suffering, that is Gayatri or Pranav practice, Trayambak or Rudra Dhyan practice, then meditation of Narayana or Lord Vishnu, and the ultimate one, that is Samadhi. And you have to remember that in throughout the text, sage Vashish have emphasizes that you have to balance between karma and jnana. You cannot just renunciate from karma or jnana and then you can lead to the salvation or liberating path. You have to do all the actions as per the Vedic saying or the scripture saying. So you have to remember this basic point for the Vashishtha Samhita text. So this speed is fine for everyone, or I should go slow? Just tell me this thing, so we'll move further to chapter 1.
It's fine.
Okay. So after discussing each chapter, we'll have 2-3 minutes of gap so that you can ask any doubts in that particular chapter you have, or I want to repeat that, because after completing that, it will be very difficult to deal with certain particular chapter points. Okay. So in every end of every chapter, I will give you the time so that you can ask anything you want me to repeat or you want to ask. Okay. So here in chapter 1, the main focus was the Shakti or the disciple or son of sage Vashish ask about the method to attain knowledge, which can liberate one from miseries of world, fears of birth, old age, and death. So the sage Vashish told Shakti that whatever knowledge I have gained from Brahma, I am narrating it to you. Further, he told about 2 types of karmas or actions one should perform to attain salvation or to gain liberation. So first is pravartak, that is motivating karma, and second is nirvartak, that is liberating karma. And further, the nirvartak karma, the liberating karma, have been further classified into 2 types, that is external or internal, bahir or abhyantar, which we'll discuss in the further slide. That externals are what we do, the rituals, any religious or spiritual practices we do, that are external type of liberating actions. For example, reciting any type of text, any type of Vedic literature, that is an external type of liberating action. Internal is like meditation, pranayam, all these are internal types of liberating actions. Further, in the chapter 1, they have discussed about 10 types of yamas, which is quite common. I would not say the exact common, but quite common with the other Hatha Yoga texts. 10 niyamas and 10 asanas, out of which 4 are the best one. That is already mentioned in all the Hatha Yoga texts. Yeah, Gauri Shankar is raising hand. May I know why? Is there any issue?
Madam, could you give some example on Pravartak work and Nivartak work?
Further, we are in the further slides, we are going to discuss all those things. This is an outline. So you must remember the outline of the chapters. Okay. So I have made the notes accordingly. In the further, you will discuss all the types of actions and this thing. Okay. Okay. So here I have added this particular shloka if you want to refer, and here in the slides, because you are getting this slide for your further study purpose. So you have to remember this here. What is number is mentioned is the shloka number. Okay. So don't confuse with anything else. Here in the slides, the number is of shlok number on this particular chapter. So in the 19th shloka of the first chapter, it has been said that there are twofold pathway of actions. That is, two types of actions to attain liberation as per the yoga or as per the Vedas, which Brahma has told me, said Vashishtha. And both the way consist of two actions, that is pravartak, nirvartak, that is motivating and liberating karma. So what is pravartak karma or motivating karmas? So in the shlok 20, it has been said that the actions by the person of any varna or any ashrama with any desire, whenever we do any action, we are performing any kind of activity with a desire or with keeping a fruitful outcome out of it, that is a pravartak karma, which is leading to development of sanskaras and development leading us to the viscous cycle of life and rebirth. And on the other hand, nirvartak karma is like selfless actions, whatever is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and other types of Jnana and Karma Yoga texts. That whereas the same path of action, when based on knowledge and devoid of all the desires, that is nivartak karma, means nishkam karma, selfless karma is nivartak karma. And whenever we are doing with desire or any motivating or a motto, that is pravartak karma. For example, we are here studying for UGC NET Yoga. Okay, so we are studying with a purpose. We are not here to attend or to gain knowledge. We are here just because we want to qualify UGC NET Yoga. So that is a type of pravartak karma. But if you study just to gain knowledge, whenever we study just with of our passion or with our interest, that is a kind of liberating or nivartak karma. Here is just an example or irony I have made. Okay. So whenever you are doing things without desires, that is nivartak, and you are doing things with motivation or any motto or interest, that is your pravartak karma. And this type of nishkarm karma, selfless karma, leads to salvation or liberation. That is why it is also known as liberating actions. The learned people who know the liberating way of action in Vedas is of two kinds. Here, the nirvartak karma is subdivided into two types, that is internal and external, and each one is the means of liberation. So, the external karma or the liberating action is the overt action with certain prescribed means. For example, I am reciting Hanuman Chalisa daily. That is a kind of external action. Or I am devoting a mug of water to salute sun. That is a kind of external action I am doing. But I am meditating. I am just focusing on my breath. That is a kind of internal liberating action I am doing. Okay. Then the types of liberating actions, which I have already discussed, the external ones, which is having the overt action one can see, and the internal ones, which is inside the body, inside the mind, just for self-enlightenment. So here, after discussing all these types of karma and this knowledge, later the Shakti asked that what is the nature of knowledge? What is knowledge? We already discussed about karma. Okay, what all actions we have to perform. So it has been said that you have to balance your karma and your actions or knowledge and karma. You have to balance. So now, as Sage Vashishtha already discussed about karmas, Shakti asked for the knowledge one. And here the Sage Vashishtha said that knowledge consists nothing other than yoga. Yoga leads to the self-enlightenment or the self-realization. That very yoga involves eightfold path and said to be the universal duty for all the beings. And it has been said that yoga or eightfold yoga is a universal duty for all the beings we are here, like humans. For humans, one have to follow this eight-folded yoga. But you have to remember one important point. As in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there are different Antarang and Bahirang yoga. There are only 3 Bahirang and 5 Antarang. 5 Bahirangs and 3 Antarangs. Here, 4 Antarangs and 4 Bahirangs are there. That is, the Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam are 4 Bahirang, and Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan or Samadhi are 4 Antarangs of yoga. Here, you have to remember this particular point because it has been asked in previous year questions. So here the yoga, the knowledge is the part of yoga and leads to self-realization, what sage Vashishtha told to Shakti. And the yama, that is rules of conduct, niyama, that is vows or social conduct, asanas, that is postures, pranayama, that is control and expansion of breath, as we all know. Pratyahar, that is withdrawal of senses with other respective meanings, has been discussed here. Then dharana, dhyan and samadhi. So here 10 yam, 10 niyams, 10 asanas have been discussed, along with 3 types of pranayam, 4 types of pratyahar, 5 types of dharana, 2 types of dhyana, that is sagun and nirgun. And further, the sagun have been divided into 5 types. Nirgun is the only one. And the samadhi, which can be attained with several means. So you have to remember this particular number things in your mind for the exam point of view. So we'll discuss.
Please clarify which are Antarang.
Antarang are Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. 4 Antarang and 4 Bahirang are discussed in the Vashishtha Samhita. Okay. Okay. So now we'll discuss what all yamas, what all niyamas, what all things have been discussed in this particular chapter 1. So yama. So what are yamas? There are 10 yamas or the moral code of conduct, which is very essential for a spiritual life. It has been said by sage Vashishtha. So what are the 10 yamas are all about? So ahimsa, that is non-violence, satya, that is truthfulness, asteya, that is non-stealing, brahmacharya or celibacy, dhriti, steadfastness or fortitude, we can say, shama, that is forgiveness, mitahar, that is moderation in diet, Soch, that is purity, daya, that is compassion, and arjava, that is honesty for living. So you have to remember that some of the yamas here, for example, brahmacharya, your dhriti, daya, mitahar, and arjava are discussed in some other perspective in the Vashishtha Samhita rather than any other text. So you have to remember such points. I have already mentioned in the slide, we'll discuss further. But for exam point of view, you just have to keep focus on this particular points in yamas. So yamas are what? These are moral conducts, which are essential to progress in the path of enlightenment or the spiritual growth. If one is establishing these all yamas, he or she will be easy to attain the further states of yoga. It has been discussed like that. So the first yama is ahimsa or non-injury. So it has been said that not being injurious to anybody through action, thought, or speech. You have to remember this particular point. Not only just by physical action, but by your thought, but by your speech. You don't have to be violent. That is ahimsa. And if the action prescribed by scriptures causes no affliction to any other being, to any living being, means in any means, if you are afflicting or you are affecting the other being, that is ahimsa according to Vashishtha Samhita. Then satya or truthfulness. Truthfulness, truth speaking by yourself also and by other people also. Because sometimes what happens is externally in front of people, we are like telling lies, a lot of lies, and internally we know the truth. We are doing what? We are lying with ourselves. That is the biggest mistake we do. So here, just the concept of true speech, which is benevolent, justified, and agreeable with others in society and with yourself. That is important for yoga. And a true speech, benevolent or justified, agreeable, is said to be Satya. This I am telling you the truth, said Vashishtha. Then Aste, that is desirelessness, means you have to perform actions. As I already told, that Sage Vashisht always said in the text that you don't have to renunciate from the actions. Just as you have to do it selflessly, desirelessly, you have to do all the actions. So having no greed for anything by action, thought, or speech is said to be asteya. And you have to realize this. For the brahmacharya, which is important. Here, there are 2-3 things they have mentioned regarding brahmacharya that you have to remember. That is, brahmacharya is absolute abandonment of sexual indulgence everywhere and in all the forms of being at all level. Means you don't have to be sexually indulged mentally, verbally, or physically in such kind of practices or thoughts. Later, for householders or who are grihast, who are married, it has been said that lawful intercourse or having intimate relationship with their own wives after every menstruation or menstrual cycle is brahmacharya, according to Sage Vashisht. Along with that, serving the guru, following his instruction regularly, is also a part of brahmacharya. So 3 things have been mentioned. One, brahmacharya, that is who are unmarried and renunciated. Second is for householders. And third is the serving of guru and devoting him to all the actions and duties according to the guru's instruction. Then the brahmacharya being described here is meant for different stages of life. As we all know, in Hindu scripture, there are 4 stages of life, or in yogic concept, there are 4 stages of life. That is brahmacharya, or when we are student, grihast, when we are married, vanaprastha, when we are retired, and sannyas, the later stage of the retirement, or the last stages of life. So here, according to that, they have discussed the brahmacharya. Further, dhriti, or the fortitude. So steadfastness of one's mind in every situation or every circumstance is dhriti. Whether it is loss, it is gain, you have to be constant. You have to be normal. You have to be neutral. It has been the concept said about the dhriti. And the learned exponent of Veda defined, Shama is the next this thing, I guess. Okay. So along with that, there is forgiveness, concept of forgiveness, that is an attitude of equanimity towards all friends and foes. Means you don't have to keep like an enemy like thought with anybody. That is Shama. You have to forgive everyone for anything they are doing. So Dhiti and Shama. Then the concept of Daya or charity. So it has been said that the money or the wealth earned with the good deeds or performed with the good actions, when are used to donate or to help others, that is your, just a minute, there is some confusion. Okay. Dana is somewhere else. Okay. Daya here is compassion and love. That is compassion and love towards every being. Either it is animal, insect, birds, human beings. For everyone, you have to be kind and compassionate. Then the arjava or honesty. An attitude of uniformity among mental, speech, and bodily actions. Means man, karma, and vachan. You have to be devoted. You have to be honest, as forbidden or as said in scriptures or Vedas. That is Arjava. Further, they have discussed about mitahara or the moderate diet or the appropriate diet for yogic persons. So here, the number of bites have been discussed in mitahara. They have not discussed anything like fruit content, what you have to eat, what you don't have to eat. As like Hatyok Pradipika, here they have mentioned the number of bites as per stages of life or ashram one has to take. So they have mentioned the 8 bites for sannyasa, a complete life renunciation people, 16 bites for vanaprastha or retirement dwellers, then 32 bites for grihast or householders, and as per the need, in the brahmacharya or the student stage. And rest of the people who are getting into the any other category, they can have less than the full of stomach, which has been already said in Hatha Yoga text and other texts, that you have to eat 1/4 of your stomach and the remaining space should be empty for space and water. And this concept with number of bites has been said in Mitahara. Further, they have added Soch or cleanliness in Yama only. So there are two types of Soch or cleanliness, that is external, which is done using clay and water, because earlier people used to have bath with clay, not with the soaps. So here it has been discussed that is external cleansing of body, and purification of mind is the internal cleanliness, which can be done by spiritual knowledge, right deeds, pranayama, yoga, and everything. So what we have discussed till now, that is 10 yamas. Ahimsa, that is non-violence. Satya, that is truthfulness. Asteya, that is non-stealing or non-desirelessness. Then brahmacharya, dhriti, shama, daya, arjav, mitahara, and soch. These all are 10 yamas which has been discussed in Vashishtha Samhita chapter 1. Further, we are moving further with the niyamas. So what all niyamas have been discussed in Vashishtha Samhita? So tap, santosh, tap that is austerity, santosh that is contentment, astikeya faith in dharma or your path of devotion, then dan that is charity, Ishwar Pujan that is worship of God, Siddhanta Shravan that is listening of ritual or spiritual doctrines, Hri that is modesty, Japa that is repetition of mantra with its meaning in mind, and lastly the Vrata that is observance of the vows. So these 10 niyamas are referred to you, said sage Vashishtha. So first of all, the tapa meaning here is very different from any other text. You have to remember this particular concept. So there is a term used here is Krich Chandranayan. That is a Sanskrit word, which means that you have to take food according to lunar cycle. You have to consume that much amount how the lunar cycle is going on. So we'll read first, then we'll see the picture. So purification of body by Chandrayan, wo is prescribed in the scriptures and is the best tapa among all. And Krich means vigorous and Chandrayan means lunar phase or lunar cycle, which has been referred here. And this particular wo or niyama is supposed to be rigorous because the person is undertaking this particular wo is permitted to consume food only according to the lunar phases of the moon. That is, on the first day, he will have mouthful of food. On the gradual, it will increase or decrease according to the shape or size of moon or lunar cycle. So we'll see the picture here. That's an lunar cycle phase picture, which I've took from Britannica. So here you can see there is a new moon cycle, which starts. Then it is a waxing crescent moon, then first quarter moon, then waxing gibbous moon, full moon, waning moon, and the last quarter moon. So according to these stages, you have to eat. Means if the size of moon is reducing, you have to reduce your amount of food intake. If size of full moon or there is like Purnima or gibbous moon are there, you can increase the amount of food you have taking. So that is the concept of tapa discussed here in the Vashishtha Samhita. Further, santosh, that is contentment. So one should be contented whatever he or she is having, not just by external, but with the attitude of mind or internally, you have to be satisfied with whatever you have. For example, I will give you an example like because I frequently watch this competitive exam videos. So whatever we do is while preparing for any kind of exams, for example, right now we are here, okay? So we think like people, those who are preparing for Unacademy are more, like talented, or they have more chances to get selected or qualified in NET JRF. But it's not like that. It never depends on the external thing. It always depends on you, how your attitude of mind is toward that particular thing. So here the santosh is one concept, that if you are prepared in your mind that you have to qualify UGC NET, you can do it. Because when you have that intrinsic motivation to do something, you do things flawlessly rather than doing, like under pressure or under all the other circumstances we think while studying or while doing anything with a motive. So the sign of happiness is santosh, when you have the attitude of mind of satisfaction or contentment. Then atike, in some texts it has been written as atike, in some texts it has been written as astike. So you can remember both the terms. So faith in dharma or actions to be done, from which dharma you are taking that particular learnings to perform your action. For example, in our we have Vedas in Hindu scriptures. The other scriptures have other like actions described in their own text. So faith in your own dharma and the adharma, which actions you don't have to perform. That is the knowledge of that and faith in that, that this is adharma and this is dharma. What I have to do is I have to follow the path of dharma. That is atike or astike. Then dana or charity. So when the fairly earned money is dispersed with the beneficial or with the beneficence of the needy person, that is dana or charity. Whenever we are earning money honestly and giving it to someone else who is in need, that is charity. But nowadays what people do is they just like accumulate black money and they just donate by creating an NGO. That kind of thing are very, but that is not dana or charity. When you are fairly earning it and fairly donating it, that is charity here. Then Ishwar Pujan or worship of God. So here, as I said, sage Vashishtha was a disciple of Lord Vishnu, or he believes in Lord Vishnu. So here he described that systemic adoring of Lord Vishnu with pleasant mood and devotion is worship of God. Secondly, having the heart detached from all the attachments, the speech not contaminated with falsehood, and body devoid of violence is Ishwar Pujan. Means two things have been discussed. One is praying for the Lord Vishnu. Second is heart detached, speech not contaminated, and body devoid of violence. This is Ishwar Pujan. Means you are respecting this body and this prakriti or jagat which has been created by the god. This is also an Ishwar Pujan. Then Siddhanta Shravan, listening of the doctrines or Vedanta. So studying own branches of Vedas and studying history and mythologies, hearing it is under Siddhanta Shravan, it has been said. Then Hri and modesty. So Hri are the deeds which are condemned by Vedas and by social laws. And an attitude of ignominy towards them is Hri. Means if someone is doing wrong. For example, we are putting wrappers and waste thing on the roadside or on the road. That is a wrong thing. According to the Vedas also, you should not pollute your prakriti. You should not pollute your surrounding. Secondly, according to social laws also, you are damaging that particular environment there, the biodiversity of that particular region. So what all deeds or actions which have been ignorant, which have been told wrong in Vedas as well as in social laws, and having an attitude that, yeah, this is wrong, is Hri or modesty. Then Mati, having faith in all the ordains of the scriptures and omitting those which are not advised by the precipitator or the guru or the Lord. Means what all actions are described in the scriptures or said by the guru is true. Other than that are not advised. That is your mati. Means your state of mind is mati. Then japa or recitation of the mantras. So the practice of chanting mantras in the prescribed manner is called japa, with meaning and a correct pitch of chanting it. That is japa. Such japa have to be said of two-folded. Means there are two types of japa which has been discussed. That is upamasu and mansa. That is low-pitched or in low voice when we whisper mantra. Like Om Bhur Swa, like that. Like we whispering it or we are just moving our lips. That is upamasu. and mantha, that is mental recitation or jap while we are doing this mala and everything. So low voice chanting is 1,000 times better than the loud voice. And similarly, mental repetition is better than upmasa. The same thing is written like that. Then the vrat. This concept is already also very different from any other thing, any other text in Hatha Yoga. So vrat here is like in order to achieve your dharma, artha, kam, because moksha, we are already discussing how to attain moksha. The rest of the thing, because Vashishtha have not said to renunciate with karma, the livingly karma. He have not told that you should not be an householder or anything. He have not restricted to renunciate. So here, to earn that particular dharma, artha, kama, to do all those things which have been said in Vedas, you have to adopt the advices or the knowledge received from Guru or with the Vedas, and you have to follow that. That following is the vratas. Means to earn money, to perform certain rituals, to attend or to enjoy this world. This all should be in the path of knowledge, which have been said or described in Vedas or as per the Guru. So what we discussed till now is 10 niyamas. That is, eating as per lunar cycle is tapa. Santosh, that is satisfaction or contentment. Astike, that is belief in your or faith in your own, like scriptures or whatever religion you are following in. Then dan, that is charity. Ishwar pujan, that is surrender to God or devoting him with good actions and everything. Then Shraddhan Shravan, listening to the Vedic chanting or doctrines or lessons. Re, that is shyness and also your modesty. Then Mati, actions to be done as per Vedas or Guru's saying. Japa, name of the deity with their meaning and everything. And Vrata, that is to achieve the 4 goals of life, you must follow Guru's instruction or the Vedas. So here we are done with Yama and Niyama. Now moving to the Asana. So what all asana have been discussed in the chapter 1 are Swastikasan, Gomukasan, Padmasan, Veerasan, Simhasan, Mayurasan, Kukutasan, Bhadrasan, Muktasan. These are 10 asanas which have been discussed here. So all the asana procedure are quite similar to Hatha Yoga Pradipika. I have not added the pictures, but you can just go through it. It is as similar as said in your Hatha Yoga text. So shall I move, I have to describe all the asanas, or we can just move further with the benefits and this thing? Because the asanas, the procedure are same as said in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So we'll discuss 1-2 asanas, okay? Swastikasana, which is had to be like best asana of all Hatha Yoga texts. Prince or, master of all asanas. A posture wherein the person sits on the level ground with the body erect, sitting with the properly with the 2 soles between the opposite thighs and knees is called Swastikasana. And the posture wherein the person sits well, keeping the ankles by side of his own perineum is also known as Swastikasana. And it has been said that this asana is destroyer of all sins and impurities. So in Vashishtha Samhita, for some of the asanas only, they have described the benefit, not for all asanas they have mentioned. So don't get confused, like here it is written, in other asana it is not written. So only for few asanas only they have indicated the facts. Then Gomukhasan, which you already know, that is a posture wherein a person sets his right ankle on the side of the left hip and the left by the side of the right hip. Means the sitting posture is only discussed here in the Vashishtha Samhita. Then Padmasana, person keeping his both the soles on the thighs cross-wide and holds the toe. Means Padmasana is discussed here as the Padmasana. Then Veerasana, a posture wherein a person places one foot on the opposite thigh and the other thigh steadily. That is Veerasana. Then Simhasana, which is already always adored by yogis. That is the most adorable asana as per Hatha Yoga. So a posture wherein a person keeps his ankle or heels below the scrotum on the either side of the perineum. And the right side of the perineum should be pressed by the left ankle and the left by the other one. And the hands should be straight with the fingers, means the open fingers, web should be made and should be placed on the knees and opening the mouth wide, gazing at the nose tip or nasag mudra with well composed mind, means the steady mind. That is the Simhasana. Then Mayurasana. One important fact and one previous year question have been put on from this particular asana. It was asked like what benefit have been told as per Vashishtha Samhita of Mayurasana. So in all the texts you have been seen or reading that Mayurasana, like delete the all poisonous effect of anything. Means it is well known asana to reduce the effect of poison in the body. But here in the Vashishtha Samhita, it has been said that it ends all the demerits. The for poison thing, they have indicated some other asana here. So what is Mayurasana? We all know, holding the ground with the palms and keeping the elbows on the sides of navel and raising one's body on the horizontal stick-like structure. Then Kukkutasana.
And what is demerit here? What can be
Sorry?
meant by what can be meant by demerit?
Your voice is not clear. You can write also if you can in the chat box. I will see it.
I think she's asking what regarding the demerits, what kind of demerits it will remove?
Demerits are like bad things or bad actions you have done, okay, or your sanskaras, basically. That will be destroyed. Your bad deeds will be reduced or destroyed. Like that, it has been mentioned here. Okay, or sins, you can say. Okay. Then Kukkutasana, so performing Padmasana and suspending oneself with the hands on the ground, that is Kukkutasana. Then Bhadrasana, to keeping both the ankles under the scrotum on the either side of the perineum and holding firmly the feet so that they touches the side and one should remain steady. That is already said in Hatha Yoga text also. You can just remember the image of that particular asana. And Bhadrasana here has indicated that it removes diseases and the effect of poison. So this is not for the Mayurasana in the Vashishtha Samhita, but for the Bhadrasana, it has been said that it reduces the effect of poison. Okay, so you have to remember this particular exception. Then Kurmasana, that we all know, a person suppressing his anus with the two ankles, everting his feet in the opposite direction and well composed in this asana. That is Kurmasana. And Muktasana, keeping one's left ankle on the upper part of the perineum or the pubic bone or the above the reproductive organ and the other ankle on it. That is Muktasana. Or it has been already also said that pressing the fine perineum from the left ankle and the left side of the perineum with the right ankle is Muktasana. So what you have to remember is procedure is quietly less asked in previous year question. You just have to remember that, yeah, this has been said. The main important thing which you have to remember is benefits here. So for Swastikasana, Padmasana, Simhasana, Mayurasana and Bhadrasana, these asanas have only mentioned their benefit. No other asanas in Vashishtha Samhita have been described for their benefits or any other indication, contraindication. Okay. So for Swastikasana, it has been said that it destroys all sins and bad karmas. Padmasana, that is worshipped by all, because it has been indicated in Nadi Shodhan also that you have to sit and perform Nadi Shodhan in Padmasana, in Vashishtha Samhita. Okay. Then Simhasana, that is worship or adored by all the yogis. Mayurasana, which destroys all the sins and demerits. And Bhadrasana, that is destroying the toxins or poisons and disease, which is named as Gorakshasana in Hatha Yoga Pradipika. I mean, if we are looking for the procedure thing, the Gorakshasana in Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Bhadrasana here are the same thing. And the out of these 10 asana or any Hatha Yoga text, if question is putting on that which is the best asana, so that is Swastikasana. Okay. Then, according to says Vashishtha, because we have already discussed types of karma, the gyan, that is yoga kyan, we are already discussing. So we have discussed 10 yamas, 10 niyamas, 10 asanas. So according to Vashishtha, one who has been established in yam, niyam and asan, they can go further in the yogic practices of nadi shuddhi or pranayama subsequently, leading to the second chapter. So main content of the second, okay, I'll give you the time to, like ask anything regarding to first chapter. We have already discussed. Any doubts, any questions from the first chapter?
Ma'am, is Asteya a little different than other scriptures like
Yeah.
Patanjali? Because
Correct.
childlessness is not word used in Patanjali.
Correct. There are like brahmacharya also, some points are very different here. Tapa, the concept is totally different. Okay. Mitahar, totally different. So Astike is as simple as that. Whatever is said in, like our scriptures, that actions only we have to do. The other actions which have been said to be contraindicated, that we don't have to do. Okay. And following that thing, that is, this is dharma, this is adharma, as per scripture, is astike. That following thing, like mindfully, is astike, nothing else.
It's a little broader than stealing.
Correct. Because sage worship throughout the text has been said that you have to follow actions. You just not simply, like renunciate from your actions, your life, your dharma, your kama, your moksha. Moksha is the ultimate thing, but you have to go through all the stages. Okay. So it has been discussed according to that particular context. Any other doubts from chapter 1?
Yeah, with the request, please also pronounce the sloka which I mentioned here.
Shloka is just for reference because like what all important points I have already discussed, that is for the reference purpose of you people. What I believe is like your concept should be clear. The shloka thing, you can, like any, how you have to remember that by your own. Okay. So why I should waste time on reciting shloka rather than clearing your concept?
No,
So that's
actually
why I'm not
pronounce
reciting.
one so that I get clear to how to pronounce.
Okay. So I will like all the shlokas or what?
Not for chapter 1. Next one, chapter onwards, we can pronounce.
Okay, I'll try to. But I'm not very good at, like chanting Sanskrit shlokas. I'm very clear with that thing. Okay. So any other doubts till chapter 1? So we'll move further to the chapter 2.
We're going to continue. How long we're going to achieve? 1 hour is completed.
Yeah, actually, I have been told to continue for, like till 1, how far I know. Or if you people are okay with that, I can, like complete the text today itself. So it depends on you people, like how much you can absorb. That's why I'm having an interactive thing in between so that you people cannot sleep. And you have to be attentive. Fine, we'll move with the second chapter.
Yes, okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in chapter 2, what all have been outlined we are going to discuss now is first thing, the Shakti asks about the systematic process of purification of Nadi. Means how one can purify their Nadi, what measure you have to take to purify that Nadi in human body. Then he asks for the origin of Nadis, their maintenance, and also the nature of Kanda and how many Vayus or Pranas exist in the body. Along with that, he asked that what are the places of that particular Vayus in the body, their respective functions, and all other things which are knowable to a being having in the body. Means whatever is necessary, one should know, being a yogi or being in a path of salvation, about his body. You just tell me. Like that, he asked from his father or the guru, Vashishtha. And Deh Madhya, Kand, Kundlini, Nadis, that is 72,000 Nadis have been said. You have to remember that how many nadis are said in Vashishtha Samhita is 72,000. 14 out of it are important. 3, the Ida, Pingla, Sushumna are most important, and the Sushumna, the utmost important nadi from all the text. Then Vayus, that is 10 Vayus have been discussed, or Prana, that is 5 pranas, 5 upranas. The prerequisites for Nadi Shuddhi, that contains your place, bath, seat, what asana you have to sit on, in which asana or posture you have to perform Nadi Shuddhi, and the body position and the procedure of Nadi Shuddhi. This is the outline of chapter 2 we are going to discuss now. Okay. So starting from the body measure, as Shakti asks, whatever is necessary, you think, to be in the path of yoga, to be in the path of salvation, you just tell me. So says Vashisht started it from the body measure. He told Shakti that the human body measures 96 fingers by his own finger breadth, or angul. 96 angul, the length of the human body is. And the prana exceeds it by 12 fingers. As the Vayu breath initiates the life activity throughout the body, is called as prana as per says Vashisht. So you have to remember the body measure, that is 96 angul or 96 finger breadth, and prana exceeding it by 12 fingers. Because it has been asked in one previous year question that what is the measure of human body as per prana. Okay. Then spinal cord, or the origin of nadi. What has been said about that? There are 32 bones in the body on the both sides of the spinal cord, as said by sage Vashisht. You have to remember this point, that 32 bones have been said. Okay. And it consists of 72,000 nadis. That means from that spinal cord, your 72,000 nadis are originating. It has been said in, like, they are, covering the body from that spinal cord. They are moving it out from there. It has been said like that. Okay. So these 32 bones consist this 72 nadi, or supports this 72,000 nadis. It has been said like that. Then the most important and frequently asked question is Dehi Madhya, or the center.
Madam, just go to the previous slide.
Okay. Yeah.
And what do you mean 32 bones?
32 bones, they have, like a spinal cord have certain number of bones. Okay.
Right.
So he has mentioned that there are 32 bones in your spine.
Okay.
So, both sides had been said because in yogic body, we divide body by, like Ida, Pingala, and Shushumna. I will show you one diagram. Okay. So in yogic body, we divide it as, this is Shushumna. Okay. The center one. And the right half of the body is your Pingala, and the left half of the body is your Ida. So in yogic test, it has been divided in that way. So it has been said that in either side of the Shushumna, there are 32 bones. Okay. I hope you got it. Yes, no? Okay. So moving to Deh Madhya, that is center of the body. In the center of the body, there is a place of fire having a glow of heated gold. We all know in certain other texts also you have must be read that where the Kundalini resides, or nearby the Kundalini, there is a spear of, like gold or flaming heat is there. So Deh Madhya is the center of the body, which is triangular in shape. Okay. And for the animals, it is quadrangular, and the birds, it is circular. This question I have been also asked that what is the shape of the Deh Madhya? Okay, so you have to remember that in human body is triangular. And in that, there always exists a thin fire of flame, because the Kundalini is heated, then only she will activate from the dormant state. Okay, so the fire will be always there. So the fire of flame, glow of heat in the triangular structure in the center of the body, that is Deh Madhya, and is said to be 1 finger space, which stands from 2 finger above the anus and 2 finger below the penis. Means the Deh Madhya, the area is 1 finger, which is 2 finger above the anus and 2 finger below the penis, or the pubic bone. Okay. So better you understand with the diagram that is the center of the body, which is 1 finger space, that is Deh Madhya, which is in between your pubic bone and the anus. This is your mainly space of the Deh Madhya, in the center of the body, correct center of the body. Okay, anybody is having doubt in this? Because Deh Madhya is frequently asked question and is important area of Vashishtha Samhita to get into the mind. So I will explain in any other way I can.
Yes, you can explain, madam.
Okay, what we can do is like, yeah, we can look into this particular diagram. Okay, so what this particular text is trying to explain is, in this particular section of the body, because we cannot cross section into, we cannot cut it into 2 halves, but if we cut it into the half, we can just see like here will be the your anus, and here will be the your pubic bone. So in between that, in the center of the body, there is a Deh Madhya, and the finger breadth have been mentioned here, like 2 finger below by your own finger, 2 finger below the pubic bone, and 2 finger above the anus. That is the exact center of the body when you see it, like in the cross section or the sagittal section, if you see in the body.
Ma'am,
Okay.
can we say the perineum area?
Yeah, perineum area only. But what is said is like perineum is a specific area, right? That is lateral, obliquely lateral it is, we can say. But this position is exactly in the center of the body. Means if I cut the waist of a human body, the exact center will be your Deh Madhya. Okay, means you have to just imagine that like from the head, vertex of the head, something is going into your body, okay, while you're sitting. So where it is falling it, like from the vertex of the head, where it is falling, neither frontal, neither back, it will be in the center of the body, right? There is your Deh Madhya. So this is why it is in between pubic bone and anus.
Can you say it is between Swadhisthana and Manipur chakra?
No, you cannot just relate it with chakra. That is what I'm trying to explain here. Wait a minute, I will just have a cross section of the human body so that you can. Okay, I think you people can get this. This is the cross section from seen, which is seen upwards. Okay, I guess it will be quite difficult, this one.
Your screen is not visible.
Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. I'm just getting, like image to make you more clear. You can see this image?
Yes, now.
Okay, you just see this man. Okay, no other thing, you have to just see how this man is, like have been cutted. The cross section have been done. Okay, you just imagine this cross section have been done here, below the umbilical or below the, like this 2 bones, iliac crest. Okay, here this cross section have been done. So what will be the, from seeing from upward? Okay, if we see it from upward, this is your spinal cord. Okay, just having the basic idea, if we are seeing this body section into the cross section, this thing, cutting it to, so here it will be your, like perineum, anus and pubic bone. Here will be your pubic bone, here will be your anus. So in between that will be your Deh Madhya, the center of the body. Okay, if
So
we'll
I
cut
think
the
it is the
human body,
place of Muladhara chakra, right?
Muladhara chakra is quite above from that. Because from there, like we'll see further, there is a space of Kand. Okay, from that the chakra is getting started, not from the Deh Madhya. Okay, Deha Madhya is quite, like slightly below that particular chakra origin, you can say, or nearby that, not properly below because it's the center of the body. Chakra is different, Deha Madhya is different. In physics, we usually study, like center of the body or center of the gravity. That is what is Deha Madhya here. Okay. Hope you got some idea of this Deha Madhya. That is the center of the body. Yes, no, anything?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. So that is simply the center of the body. You have to remember that 2 finger below the pubic and 2 finger above the anus. And in the center of the body, that is Deha Madhya. Then we have Kand. So Kand and Deha Madhya are quite similar and, like before nearby structures, but we have to clear it by, like diagram. So there is a Kand situated in the body, which is 9 finger above from the center of the body. Means from Deha Madhya, Kand is 9 finger above and having 4x4 breadth, means 4 height, 4 breadth. That is an oval or elliptical structure which is having 9 finger above from the Deha Madhya. And this Kanda with oval shape is osseous. Osseous means it will be porous. Okay, skinned over means porous. Skinned over, the middle part of this Kanda is called Nabhi. And from this Kanda, the Nabhi, the center of this Kanda will be your solar plexus or Nabhi. And chakra originates from here as per the Vashishtha Samhita, sorry. Okay, so here, from here, from Kand, it has been said that chakra is originating. Okay, not from the Deha Madhya. Chakra, Deha Madhya and Kand, 3 different concepts are there. Don't mix them together, okay? And a circle of 12 spokes which supports body, that is chakra only, a circle of 12 spokes which supports body, and this circle, the individual self moves motivated by merits and demerits. Means these chakra are binding us or giving us the, like fruits as per our good deeds and bad deeds. And prana resolves below this Mooladhara chakra or Moola chakra, which has been said in this particular text. That is the basic circle or chakra of the jeev, just as the spider revolves in the middle of the cobweb. Means the prana, until the kundalini is activated, the prana revolves around the Mooladhara chakra as a spider in his own cobweb. Okay, means a spider develops his own web and he revolves around them only. It only, sorry. Okay, so similarly, prana, until the kundalini is activated or prana enters the Sushumna, it just revolves around that Mooladhara chakra. So first we'll understand the structure of Kand. So it has been said that it is 4x4 structure, that is 4 length, height or 4 breadth, 4x4 elliptical or oval structure, which has been shown in the white, this particular oval structure which have been shown. And it is 12 spoked. Spoke means how the bicycle, this tire have spokes. Okay, like that, this particular Kand is 12 spoked, and center of that we have navel chakra or our umbilical, from which the other nadis or this thing is originating. And this particular Kanda is 9 finger above the Deha Madhya or center of the body. 9 finger above the center of the body is the position of your Kanda. Okay, clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Madam,
The
what is the
position of
meaning
the
of Kan? I am not able to understand. What does it mean to say Kan?
Kanda is a Sanskrit word basically that means the base. Okay, basically base or the origin of other chakras or this thing. Kanda is a term. You cannot just, because some Sanskrit terms don't have an exact English terminology. So you just remember the Kanda is the base so that the Kundalini or this thing can be built up.
We note also chakra, right? Kan is different from chakra.
Yeah. Deha Madhya, Kanda and Chakra are 3 different concepts. Okay.
So,
So you
what is
just
the role of Kan actually? What
It
is
is-
function of Kan?
it is a space from where you can say just nadis are evolving out. Okay. It is just providing a base, and I will better show. Okay. Just imagine that this red one is your Deha Madhya. Okay. Place we have already discussed. Don't go with the place. I'm just, like try to illustrate that particular thing differently. Okay. So this is Deha Madhya, the red one. Above, 9 finger above that, there is a base where the Kundalini resides and the chakra originates. Okay. That is the base, or which is a platform, we can say, for supporting these structures, chakra and this evolving Kundalini. Okay. That is Kand, where the Kundalini resides. It can be said like that also.
But Kundli resides at Muladhara, not at Swadhisthana.
That is this thing. You are mixing with other text. Don't mix it with other text. Here, like whenever you are trying to read a particular text, you have to be in that text only. That is the exact fact which has been established, that Kundalini is residing in the Muladhara and it will move upwards when we do the Kundalini awakening practices or we ascend in the yogic practice. Correct?
Yeah.
That is a different concept. That is the most acceptable concept you can say. But in yoga and different yoga structures, you have different concepts. So here it has been said that Dehamadhya is the center of the body. Above that, we have a base or a platform kind of thing, that is Kand, out of which the nadis are originating, or out of which the center of the this thing has there, and the chakras are evolving out of that. Means above that the chakra is evolving. Okay. Or in that base, around that base, Kundalini resides. Like that it is said. Okay. So here, the main thing is you just have to remember the finger distance and the position of this particular Kand, Dehamadhya, and the Kundalini. We'll see further. Because Dehamadhya and Kand, you have to understand, then only we can understand the location of the Kundalini. So moving to the location of the Kundalini, I will go through these 3 points and again after discussing the location of the Kundalini, okay? So that you people can be more clear with these positions. So an individual self, that is Jeev. So Jeev is whenever the soul is entrapped in this human body, 5 elemental body, that is called Jeev. You have to just remember that. Jeevatma is whenever soul is embodied in this physical body is Jeev. So Jeev always remains firm and steady because they have, like elemental structure we have in all the bodies due to the force of prana. And we have prana. That's why we are steady in this body. We are not, like our prana is not going out. So the place of Kundalini is located above this Mool chakra or Mooladhara chakra, which is extended in the direction downwards, upward, oblique from the navel. Now here, don't get confused. What is the actual location of Kundalini? Is you are saying right. You people have read Asanan Mudra Pranayam, Bandh, Hatuk text and everything. But here in Vashishtha Samhita, it has said that Kundalini is located above the Mooladhara chakra. Not from Mooladhara, not below Mooladhara, not anything else. Above Mooladhara, from above Mooladhara chakra, Kundalini is there. The residing or the location of Kundalini is above Mooladhara chakra, and it is extending downward or upward according to the action. That is, we are practicing yoga, it will move upward. It will go to the Sahasrara, or it will remain dormant in that state only. Okay? It is clear now to you, like where is Kand, Dehamadhya and Kundalini? Right? Or is there any doubt till now?
It's okay, ma'am.
Okay. Further, the Kundalini is said to have 8 prakritis as per the Sattva, Rajatam and everything. So they have 8 times it has been coiled. Okay. Beginning with the A and Sha, that is the Hindi Devanagari term A for arm, and Sha, that is Sha for Kshatriya. Okay. And it always stay obstructing the free movement of Vayu, because it has been said here the Kundalini is above the Mooladhara. So it will not allow to ascend that. Like it will not allow the prana to flow in all the chakras. So that it will, the it will not lead to the Sushumna. Okay, so this Kundalini obstruct that flow of prana here, getting into the Sushumna. Okay, so we'll see it in the diagram what has been said, that Kundalini is above Mooladhara. Here it is made. Okay, and because here is the Kundalini, the Vayu or the prana cannot flow in the Sushumna or the center tunnel. Okay, because if it will flow in the Sushumna, it will just pierce all the, like chakras and randras, and it will lead to the Sahasrara. It will, transcend the time. But here, it is residing here just because to obstruct the flow of Sushumna or prana. Okay, here is the place of Kundalini above the Mooladhara. So why this location of Kundalini? As I told, though it takes its position so to cover the doorsteps of the Brahmarandra with its mouth, because we imagine or we hypothesize that Kundalini is in serpent form. So that face of the serpent is at the door of Brahmarandra, and it is obstructing until it has been, opened or ascended by the practice of yoga or joining or union of Apan and Pranavayu. Okay. But during the practice of yoga, it is awakened due to the heat of Apana. Because what we do is while practicing, like Kumbhak and everything, what it does, the prana comes to the Apana and it will flame it, because that is a fireball. And if it will flame it, will increase the fire flames. Okay. So like that heat of Apana will activate the Kundalini and it will leave that Brahmarandra door and it will ascend up. So these flashes forth from the space of heart in the form of cobra starts dancing, means it is a serpent, so it has been written like it starts dancing, and in the space of heart of yogi, the vayu or the prana with the help of heat enters Sushumna, because unless the Kundalini leaves this particular Brahmarandra door, prana cannot enter Sushumna. Once we'll heat up, he'll just start moving, and in that in between space, the prana enters the Sushumna. And the nadi, which is situated at the center of the kanda, that is Sushumna. All the other nadis are at the peripheries, which we have already discussed. From there, the nadis are been originated. So in structure, it has been said is, here is this big circle is kanda, okay? And in the center of that, there is a tunnel where the serpent or the Kundalini is having the door, sitting at the doorstep, that is Brahmarandra. And the peripheries or these other spokes are other nadis, which is originating from that, okay? From the center of the kanda. You got that point? Like any doubt in this thing?
Explain once.
Okay, I will explain once again. So as we have already seen that there is a 4x4 oval structure is there, which is 12 spoked. Okay, that is kanda.
What is
Out of
HT
this,
means?
sorry,
4x4 HT. What is HT here?
a height and breadth, that is 4x4. This size is 4x4. This kanda size
4x4
is
means what is unit?
height and breadth or
No,
length and
unit is centimeter, meter, millimeter.
breadth.
What
It has
is
not
this?
been mentioned. Okay, it is just written that it's 4x4, 4 length and 4 breadth. That has been written in that.
But
text.
angul, what is that? Unit should be there, na?
It is not mentioned. That was I say. Here also it is said for Dehmat, it has been said that 1 finger space Dehmat. For Kand, it has not been said. But we can imagine that, yeah, it will be, I cannot assure, but it will be this thing only, finger breadth only. Okay, that in text, in any text, you cannot find it the exact, like measure, but maybe because earlier people used to have finger breadth only. So we can just have finger breadth here. Okay. So 4x4, this kand is 12 spoked, means there are 12 spoked made here, like a bicycle tire. Okay. Out of which in the center, we are having the tunnel where the Kundalini resides, that is the door of Brahmarandha, and this particular center of this Skand is having Sushumna or tunnel of Sushumna. And the periphery is having the other nadis. Okay. This is the location of the Kundalini or from where
But the spokes are the nadis.
Yeah, here the spokes are the different other nadis. Okay, because
And
there are a lot of
in previous
nadis.
picture, that is an oval. So it is
Yeah,
say
this
the
one.
Kand was with an oval shape.
Yeah,
Kand
this
will
is
be
an
the
oval
oval
shape
shape.
Kand. Kand structure is of oval shape. Dehamad
Okay,
is
fine.
of
Thank you.
triangle. Okay, Dehamad is triangular
Okay.
structure and Kand is oval structure.
Thank you.
Okay. And out of that, the Sushumna is pierced. Okay, or the prana enters the Sushumna. This is the basic structure. Then the sage Vashishtha have discussed about the 14 important nadis out of 72,000. They have said that our body has 72,000 nadis, but 14 are of most important, which I'm discussing here. Okay, so those are Sushumna, Ida, Pingala, Kuhu, Varna, Yashashwini, Pusha, Payaswini, Sankhini, Gandhari, Hastajiva, Vishwadhara, Alambhusha. These are 14 important nadis, out of which the 3 are most important, that is Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. So here for this particular 14 nadis, the position are made. Okay, so you just have to remember that diagram I'll show you in the further slides. Okay, so 14 important nadis, first you have to remember the names, further their characteristics and the position. Okay, so moving to the characteristics of the Sushumna nadi, we can say that Sushumna is properly situated in the center of the Kand, as we have already seen in the diagram here. Okay, and by being along by the backbone abides in the head, means it is supported by the backbone, and once it pierces or it gets ascended, it will go in the head, vertex of the head. Okay, because there is a Brahmarandha or Sahasrara chakra is. And Sushumna, which abides in or up to the Brahmarandha, is the path of liberation. Once the prana enters the Sushumna, you got liberated. Then only it will enter. Okay, it has been said like that. And it is unmanifested for and is known as Vaishnavi. This has been asked that what is the name of Sushumna mentioned in Vashishtha Samhita. So you have to remember that Vaishnavi is the name. Okay, which leads to the Vishnu, or which leads to the Lord Vishnu, because the sage Vashishtha was a propagator or this, like disciple of Lord Vishnu. He worshipped Lord Vishnu. That's why he named it as Vaishnavi. And further, once the Sushumna got transcended, it transcends the Kala or the time factor. One can win over the time once they will achieve the Keval, which transcend the Sushumna, or the prana enters the Sushumna, they can just control the time. Okay, so this has been said that first thing, where is the location of the Sushumna? Center of the Kand. Okay, then name of Sushumna, Vaishnavi, and what it does, it transcends the time factor, means it achieves or it wins over the Kala. Okay, 3 things you have to remember for Sushumna. Further, what has been said is during the practice of Kumbhaka, the internal prana passes through and resides in Sushumna. Means what happened is when we practice Kumbhak, all the pranas enter Sushumna. One, because with Kumbhaka is practice to just make prana enter in Sushumna, right? So once it enters Sushumna, the other prana also comes and get into the Sushumna. And that particular length of time in which the prana resides there is being swallowed, means the duration of that time until you can just hold your prana inside the Sushumna is the time you are transcending. That is why yogi achieves or wins over time. This is why the reason is. Okay, because it transcends Sushumna and it controls the time. And so the sadhak remains unaffected by the particular time. He can just, like swap the times. And that is why Sushumna is called transcending the time factor. Okay, this concept is clear? Yeah, any doubts? Okay. Moving further, we have already discussed Sushumna, what it does, their function and characteristics. Now the Ida and Pingala. Ida and Pingala, as we all know, Ida is the left, Pingala is the right. Okay. Ida is the moon, Pingala is the sun. That has been discussed. And it has been said that your left Ida, moon, is tamas or tamogun, and your Pingala is rajgun. And these two are regulating the factors of the day and night, because we resemble it from different things. Ida and Pingala has a lot of resemblance, as we can see in Hatha Yoga texts, which resemble day, night, sun, moon, Uttarayan, Dakshinayan, right side of the body, left side of the body. All those things have been discussed here. And Shushumna, because here Raj and Tam are mentioned, the Shushumna is the Sattva Guna. Okay, don't get confused over that. So Ida, Pingala, Shushumna have been described. Further, now this is the diagram you have to remember. Okay. Which particular nadi is where? Like it is in left, it is in right, it is in front, it is in back. You have to remember this. Center, out of the kand, there is a Shushumna. Over the left, that is Ida. Right, it is Pingala. This we know. These three we know. Okay. These three we all know that Sushumna is the center, left is your Ida, right is your Pingala. But you have to remember the other also. So you have to just have, make this X kind of thing. I'll show you once. Okay, are you able to see this? I'm making one diagram kind of thing.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so like this, you have to make, squares to remember. This is an easy technique to remember. This we know is Sushumna. Right and left, we already know that we don't have to remember. This is Ida. This is Pingala. Here we have Saraswati and here we have Kuhu. So I will write just Kuhu and Saraswati. Okay. This will be your Ida. This will be your Pingala. Okay. The rest of the thing, what you have to do, this will be your basic chart. You have to remember. Okay. And around that, in between this, everywhere we have two nadis. So you have to just remember that in this way. So you can exactly remember the place of the nadi. Okay, it will be easy to remember in this way. So in between Saraswati and Ida, we have Gandhari and Shankini on the left side of the body. Okay, on the right side, Payaswini and Pusha. In between Pingala and Kuhu, we have Yashashwini and Varuni. And in between Ida and Kuhu, we have Hastajiva and Vishwadhara. Okay, so you can easily remember with this plus diagram or the direction thing, you can just remember in this way. Moving further.
Yes, a nice explanation. Thank you.
So now what we here is mentioned is what is the place we have already seen. That's why I just show you. This place is only described in terms. Okay, and along with the particular sections which it supplies.
That diagram which you have drawn.
Sorry.
Now you can remove the diagram which you have drawn now.
Okay, I'm removing it. 1 minute. Fine. Okay. So this nadis are further discussed, like what are the position is and which particular section of the body it is supplying. You can just resemble it like these nadis are modern terms nerves. Okay. Our body organ are supplied by nerves, right? So these are nerves which have Sanskrit name and which have certain supply. Okay, if you remember this side of the body, you will just, it will be easy to remember, you know, just in this diagram only you can just write, okay, right ear here, left ear, right hand, left hand, like that you can just remember with this diagram, so that it will be easy rather than reading this much of text content. Okay, so in diagrammatic way you can just remember easily. So the first nadi is Saraswati nadi. I'll just take this picture there also so that it will be easy. So here you can see Saraswati nadi is the back nadi. Behind the Shushumna, there is Saraswati. Okay. So what it has been written is this nadi holds the position on the side of the Shushumna. Okay. Side of the Shushumna. Because here it is side. Left and right already we have discussed. And this is situated in the upper part of the tongue. Means this particular nadi, Saraswati, is supplying your upper part of the tongue and empowers your mouth, tongue, and throat. Because it's supplying the tongue, so it will regulate those actions only. Speaking, moving tongue, moving mouth, everything related to mouth and throat. And it begins at the Mooladhara chakra and ends at Vishuddhi chakra. Okay, so in this diagram only, you can just make two outlines. I will show you how. For example, we have read this thing, Shushumna, okay, Saraswati, okay. So you just write here tongue or mouth, okay. In your notes, when you will make tongue or mouth, end and origin, you can just have two ends. This will be end, this will be origin. Like this you can write. You don't have to read all those texts again and again. With this one picture, you will remember it easily. Fine. This is how you have to remember this particular nadis. So it is originating from Mooladhara and ending it to Vishuddhi. Why Vishuddhi? Because it is just supplying your mouth. If you'll use, you know, like a little this thing, common sense, you will just easily remember that also. You don't have to put much effort on that. Okay. So where it is supplying, it is the chakra until there, it ending. So like Saraswati, where it is ending or it is supplying mouth and throat. So in throat, what we have? Vishuddhi chakra. So there it is ending. Okay. Then Varuni. So again, where is the Varuni? Varuni is here, next to the Kuhu or before the Kuhu. So it is situated behind the Pingala, as we have seen, and it
Madam,
moves
we are
upwards
talking
to
about
the right
Pusa,
eye.
not Varuni.
Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, we are discussing Varuni. Okay, so this nadi is situated between the Yashashwini nadi and Kuhu. Okay, so this nadi brings energy to the whole body throughout the nervous system and begins at Mooladhara and ends at Anahata. Okay, because it's talking about whole body, energy to the whole body. So from where we are getting energy? From blood. Okay, and blood is pumped through heart. So like that, you can just remember. Then Pusha. So Pusha, where we have Pusha? Here in between Pingala and Payaswini. So it is situated behind the Pingala and moves upward to the right eye. So here in the diagram, you can just write right eye, origin and end, like that. You can just remember it easily. So beginning at the Mooladhara again and ending at the right eye or third eye chakra. Because it is supplying to the eye, so it will end at that position only or in that chakra only. Okay. And this nadi provides energy to your right eye or vision to your right eye. Okay. Further, Hasta Jiva, it is situated in the front of the Ida and moves up to the left toe. Means it is supplying to the down body and to the left toe. And it begins at the Mooladhara and ends at the Manipura chakra. Okay, and provides energy to the left limb. Left limb is supplied by Hastacibha. Then Yashashwini, the nadi is situated in the front of Pingala and spreads in the right side up to the right toe. Okay, the Hastacibha was left toe, the Yashashwini is right toe. If we look into the figure, we see the Hastacibha and Yashashwini. You can just have right, because we know this right position is already there. You just have to write toe. Here you have to write toe. This is eye, this is eye, right eye, left eye. Like that, you can just remember with the diagram, okay? And this nadi brings energy to the right limbs, as like Hastajiva is supplying to the left limb. And Mooladhara is the origin side and it ending in the Manipura chakra. Similarly, Vishwadhari is the nadi runs between Kuhu and Hastajiva and it pervades the entire left region, okay? And it starts at Mooladhara and ending at Manipura, and which provides energy to the digestive system. Further, Kuhu. Kuhu is the nadi which holds position on the sides of Sushumna and occupies the front side of Sushumna because it is in front, okay? Back was Saraswati, extending up to the end of the genitals, okay? Supplying to the genitals, and nadi begins at the throat and ends at genital, okay? It is beginning from the throat and ending at that particular region which is supplied. Then Sankhini nadi. This nadi holds the position between Gandhari and Saraswati and it stretches upwards up to the left ear. So like right eye, left eye we have discussed. So here it is Sankhini is for left ear, provides energy to the left ear, that is hearing. And the nadi begins at Mooladhara and ends at Ajna Chakra, okay, or Agya Chakra. Then we have Payashvini. The Payashvini nadi is situated in between Pusha nadi and Saraswati nadi. In between that and begins in the right side of the body and flows upward to the right ear and left ear, okay? Payaswini is for right ear. Then Alambhusha. Alambhusha is situated below the center of the Kand and is in the left part of stretching downwards from the lower part of the anus. Means it is stretching to the lower part of the anus and it emerges from the Kand and transfers downwards and goes up to the mouth. Means as per the classical Hatha Yoga text, okay? And this nadi helps to bring energy to the organ and parts of the body which eliminate toxins and waste. Basically, it's supplying the intestine, the area, okay? Transfers colon and this thing. And the last nadi is your Gandhari. Gandhari begins at the Mooladhara from the base of the spine and ends at Agya Chakra or the third eye chakra or eyebrow center. This provides energy to your left eye and situated behind the Ida up to the left eye. Many other nadis originate from these nadis, okay? Means these are the 14 main nadis. Similarly, other nadis are originating from it similar to as a leaf pattern. Means if you look at the leaf structure, that one, like lining is giving birth to 2-3 other linings. Okay, like that, nadis are also distributed in the body, but these are 14 important nadis. So out of these 14 important nadi, Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna are the most important one. Okay, and is correlating your 7 chakras or wheel of the energy, because chakra have not been detailed discussed in Vashishtha Samhita. It has just been used the term chakra, nothing else. So you can see in this diagram also, Hastajiva is supplying to the right, Gandhari to the left, Pusha, Yashashwini to the body structure, and from where it is originating and where it is ending. From this diagram also you can remember it. Okay. Moving further to Prana or Vayu. So they have discussed the 5 Mukhya Prana or Panch Prana and 5 Upaprana. That is Prana, Apan, Saman, Udan and Vyan, Naga, Kurma, Krikal, Devdat and Dhananjay. Okay. So the Pranavayu, the region is Kand, mouth, nostril, heart, navel and big toes. And it is functioning, and the main function of this Pranavayu is breathing, seeing, or signing and cough. Okay. Further, Apan, this particular table has been made just for your ease. Okay. The text is discussed this thing in the, like a descriptive manner. So this is the easy way so that you can just remember the things and the functions. The regions are quite similar, but the function are exactly same as you have read in all other texts. The regions are quite, like different, or there are add-ons on this particular Vayu regions in Vashishtha Samhita. Okay, the functions are like quite same only. Prana, where the location of prana is chest or the heart. Okay, so the function is breathing, seeing, and cough, like sneezing, cough, all those things are done by prana only. Okay, the add-on regions are Kand, mouth, navel, and big toe. Okay, you have to remember this thing, the region thing. Next is Apan Vayu. Apan Vayu regions are penis, anus, thighs, scrotum, calf, knees, waist, and root of the navel. And the main functions are excretion of urine and feces. Means excretion are the main function of Apan Vayu, as we know. It is situated in the lower abdomen, below the umbilicus. Because then we have Saman Vayu, which is residing in the whole body, as per this text. Okay, responsible for growth, digestion, conduction of food material to all parts of the body, and nourishment is the role of Saman Vayu. Udan Vayu, all the joints, feet, and hands. Okay, all the joint, feet, and hands are the regions of Udan Vayu, and raising the body means functioning or raising the body is the function of Udan Vayu. Then Vyan Vayu. Vyan Vayu lies between the ear, eyes, neck, ankle, nose, throat, and the region of the eyes. Means the upper part. Okay, head and neck region. And the functions are throwing, picking up, and movement. Then we have our Upaprana, that is Naga, that is skin, bones, etc. Mainly responsible for regurgitation. Regurgitation is getting something, like again from the stomach to the mouth, or opposite direction flow of anything, blood, food, anything regurgitating. Okay. Then Kurma, the regions are same, responsible for winking of eyes. Krikal, that is for sneezing, Devdutt for drowsiness, and Dhananjay for trust. It is responsible. It has also been made in, like a more simplified way in this way also. From second chapter, Shloka 44 to 54, these Vayus have been discussed. Okay. So you can go through any of the table you want to remember these Vayus, their location and function. Further, Vashishtha Rishi described the 10 Vayus moving through these nadis, their names, region, functions, as we have already discussed. Later, he discussed about Nadi Shuddhi. So, before discussing pranayama and Nadi Shuddhi, he have been told about the prerequisites of Nadi Shuddhi. Means what all things are necessary before moving into the direct practice of Nadi Shuddhi or pranayama. So one must follow, means one have to first establish themselves in Yam, Niyam, and Asan. Once established Yam, Niyam, Asan, he has to go with abandoning all the attachment, means having desirelessness, and will prepare for the place, bath, seat, facing, and gaze thing. So place where you have to practice Nadi Shuddhi or pranayama, it should be grooved space with abundant fruit or food available, food and water available at the bank of river or at a temple, okay, which has been said. You have to take bath thrice a day, and after bathing, you have to apply white ashes, and you have to just calm mind before practice of Nadi Shuddhi or pranayama. The seat should be made of kusha or deer skin on a soft seat. Means the base seat should be there, soft base seat. Over that, you have to put kusha or deer skin. Okay. Facing to the east or north direction. Sitting in the Padmasana with head, neck, spine erect. Being quiet and steady. Okay. And gazing at the nose tip. This is the prerequisite before you have to do the Nadi Shuddhi. That is the place, bathing, sitting, facing, posture, and gaze. So how to perform Nadi Shuddhi? So Nadi Shuddhi, you have to just do inhale from the right nostril. You have to, mentally, you have to recite or meditate on VAM, mantra, Bij mantra, for 12 counts. And meditate on fire surrounding by flashing flames. Means a good fire thing You have to imagine with the Vam mantra in your mind and inhale from the left nostril for 12 counts. And exhaling from the right, reciting or meditating on the circle of the fire with the Bij mantra Ram. And doing the vice versa means again you have to inhale from the right and exhale from the left. Like that, you have to do the Nadi Shuddhi practice. What you have to remember is the Bij mantra starting from left nostril. Vam should be inhalation, Ram should be exhalation. For 12 counts, you have to do this thing, 12 matra, inhalation and exhalation. Okay. This is your Nadi
Where
Shuddhi.
to mediate, madam? What do you mean the flame?
Sorry.
Where to mediate rounded by the line of flashing flames? What does it?
You have to just imagine, like fire with flashing flames. Mean the flames are there, na? I will show you the image of flames, like fire flames, what it is called. 1 minute.
So imagination on which location?
No, there is no location. You just have to imagine and, just have to meditate like that. These are the flames, okay? This side structures are there, na? This thing. These are the flames of fire. You just have to remember this flames of fire. Imagine the flames of fire. Recite Vam mantra. And for 12 counts, inhale from the rest nostril. This is the one part. Imagine the circle of fire. Meditate on that. And exhale with the Bij mantra Ram. Okay? Further, the Nadi Shuddhi duration and signs of purification have been told. So what should be the duration? How much Nadi Shuddhi you have to perform? So for 3 to 4 years or 3 to 4 months, both have been told. It depends on the type of practitioners. Okay. So either you can take 3 to 4 years or even you can take 3 to 4 months. 6 times per event. Mean this is the one cycle, right? So you have to perform 6 times at every cycle for 3 times a day. Means you have to perform Nadi Shuddhi 3 times a day, 6 times at each round. Okay. Then signs of Nadi purification are observed through lightness of the body, effulgence, increase in gastric fire, manifestation of Nada started. And one should continue practice until he or she or the practitioner got these kind of signs. Until you are getting this kind of sign, you have to practice Nadi Shuddhi. Either you can heard or you can observe these signs in 3 to 4 months or you can take it to years. It depends on the individual practice. Okay. Any doubts from the second chapter till now?
Can you explain the time of the Sushumna?
Time of the?
Beyond the time. How to beyond the time?
Okay. How Sushumna transcend the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What actually happened is, if we look into the structure of the Sushumna, okay? So Sushumna is the center of the body, the tunnel which is residing in the center of the body, okay? Here you have seen, na? This is the main center is Sushumna only. So what it happens is, whenever the Kundalini is dormant state, for example, we are not yogis or we are not sadhakas, okay? So our Kundalini is residing in the dormant state. And the face of the Kundalini or that serpent is at the Brahmarandra, okay? And these Brahmarandra, whenever we, practice Kumbhaka, what it does is make possible or it, do union of prana and apana, which flame that apana fire and that Kundalini got, tremors or movement. And out of that tremor or movement, that left the door of the Brahmarandra and the prana enters the Sushumna. This is the basic step, okay? And here, now what is said is Sushumna is the supreme thing or the most important Nadi, and it's directly related to your Brahmarandra, because if you have read the other texts also, it is said that Sushumna, there are ways to leave body. It's just that only. Like anterior fontanelle, it is called in anatomy, or the vertex of the head, from which the Brahmarandra or the center of the Brahmarandra, where the Sushumna is ending up, okay, at the vertex of the head. So you can just transcend that. So by practicing of Sushumna, Once the prana enters the Sushumna, the yogi can control the time. Okay. This is why once the prana enter in Sushumna, it is called Sushumna is transcending the time factor, because yogi gains that power to control the time. You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
Any other doubts from second chapter? Okay. Moving further to the third chapter. Third chapter basically outlines the pranayama. Basically, Omkar pranayama is the main context.
Ma'am,
Yes.
it's overflowing now.
Okay, so we'll continue to the next class like that, you are telling?
It's my opinion. You can take another suggestion.
Like, you must have to be, like integral opinion you have to give. I cannot just,
Yeah.
it depends on you, because you people have to absorb that knowledge.
Anyhow, you're not going to complete this chapter today, right?
Yeah, it is quite difficult because we are only in the third chapter. We
So
have
let
six.
us start on the next class so that continuation will be remain same.
Okay.
Otherwise, half will be complete by today and half will be on other day. So there will be discontinuation in this subject.
Okay, no issues. So till now, it is like, I want everyone to get the, like concept in their mind. We can take, like slow pace, fast pace, anything you want. But the thing is, the concept should be clear. Okay.
When will be our next class?
That this people, like organization people will tell, most probably on next Sunday, maybe.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. They can convey you.
Next same topic, ma'am.
Sorry?
Next same topic, chapter 3 or chapter 4, chapter 5.
Yeah, we'll discuss the further topics only. The 3 chapter, 4 chapter, 6 chapter we have in this.
Okay.
So we'll discuss the remaining ones in the next
Madam,
chapter.
I think Vashishtha is the same which is written Yog Vashishtha and that
No.
Vashishtha Samhita, no?
It's not. Don't get confused with that. Yog Vashisht is something different, and Vashishtha Samhita have more detailed description. Yog Vashisht have a, like quite a
No,
few things.
I'm not asking that. I know that these both are different texts. I'm saying the Vashishtha Rishi is the same, right?
Yeah, Rishi is the same. Sage is the same. Correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that is a lord of Guru of Rama, and this is a father of
Correct.
Shakti.
Correct. Yeah, that is the sage Vashishtas.
Who
So
is the author of this text?
this text is not particularly written, but we can say that has been written by Sage Vashist, because some of the texts are, like it has been just said out. Okay. So authors are not there. So it's just a dialectical text, and this conversation between Sage Vashist and Shakti.
I was saying it is only 150 years old.
Yeah.
But
It's quite recent.
Sorry.
It's quite recent than rather other text.
But I think someone is written, then only it becomes 1150 years old, right? But
Yeah.
Sage Rishi is very in the Treta Yuga, no?
Correct. So you can calculate it. It's in between that only. It's 1150 years, not just 150 years. So we'll just wrap up with the, like outlines what we have discussed today. Okay. If somebody is having any doubts, you can ask.
Just summarize what we have discussed today.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So what we have discussed in chapter 1 today is the features of Lord Brahma, how Sage Vashisht received the knowledge of salvation.
Madam, can you explain in Hindi also?
Yeah, I can explain, because
Yeah,
that's an
just let
English
us.
class. That's why they told me to,
No, that
like.
is, no, everyone is familiar with the Hindi as well. It's not an issue.
No,
You can
ma'am. No,
summarize in
ma'am.
Hindi.
I'm not can understand Hindi.
Okay. I will go with both the languages. Okay. The wrap up will be in English as well as in Hindi. Fine. Okay.
Yes,
In
ma'am, it is fine.
Okay. In chapter 1, we have discussed the description of Brahma, because the sage Vashisht gained that knowledge of liberation from Brahma only. And the Brahma told him 2 paths of actions or 2 types of karmas. to gain salvation or liberation. Okay, one path is of actions, one path is of knowledge. Karma is of two types, pravartak, nirvartak, that is motivating and liberating. Nirvartak has two sections, subunits, that is internal and external. And on the knowledge sections or the knowledge side, Sage Vashishtha, Brahma has told Sage Vashishtha about the yoga or the Ashtanga yoga. So in chapter 1, we have discussed 10 yamas, 10 niyamas and 10 asanas. Okay. चैप्टर 1 में हमने देखा कि ब्रह्म निरूपण किया गया है, ब्रह्मा के बारे में, ब्रह्मा के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स बताए गए हैं, फिर कैसे हमको मुक्ति मिल सकती है इन सारी सफरिंग से, बार बार जन्म और मृत्यु के चीज से। तो उसके लिए दो चीज बताई गई है, कर्म और ज्ञान। कर्म में दो टाइप के कर्म बताए गए हैं, प्रवर्तक और निर्वर्तक। ज्ञान में अष्टांग योग का डिस्क्रिप्शन किया गया है। तो 4 अंतरंग है, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम, और 4 बहिरंग है, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम, और 4 अंतरंग है, प्रत्याहार, धारणा, ध्यान, समाधि।
क्या इसको हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि लिबरेशन के लिए योग वशिष्ठ ने 2 मार्ग बताए हैं, कर्म और ज्ञान?
Yeah, you can say like that for your ease. It is said like that only. और कर्म के लिए प्रवर्तक और निर्वर्तक, और ज्ञान के लिए अष्टांग योग का वर्णन किया गया है। ठीक है। एंड इन चैप्टर 1 हमने ये देखा कि 10 नियम होते हैं, 10 यम होते हैं और 10 आसन होते हैं। Further, we move to the chapter 2 that deals with the Deha Madhya, that is center of the body. It is its position, that is 2 finger below the pubic bone and 2 finger above the anus in the center of the body, and the characteristics we have there. Then we have discussed Kand, its position, that is 9 finger above the Deha Madhya. Okay. Then we have discussed Kundalini, location of Kundalini. Then we have discussed the nadis. There are 72,000 nadis as per Vashishtha Samhita, out of which 14 are important, and Ida, Pingla, Sushumna are of most important, and one, the Sushumna, that is also known as Vaishnavi, which is the most important, which transcend the time or which wins over time. Okay. Then we have discussed 10 pranas, 5 main pranas and 5 upranas, their location and function. Then place of practice, how should be the place of practice of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama or yogic practices should be the bath. 3 times of bath per day you have to take. You have to face east or north. You have to gaze at the nose step. Sitting in the Padmasana, you have to practice Nadi Shuddhi. So what is the procedure of Nadi Shuddhi? Inhale from the left nostril for 12 matra, remembering or meditating on flames of fire, reciting the Bij mantra, Vam. And exhaling from right, imagining or meditating on fire of circle of fire, remembering Ram. Okay. And the signs of Nadi purification, that lightness of the body, increase in digestive fire and all those things. And until you have achieved this signs of Nadi Shuddhi, you have to practice. Either it will take 3 to 4 months or it will take 3 to 4 years. Okay.
Madam, location of uprana, 5 uprana is not discussed, right?
No.
Only
no.
prana is discussed.
Prana is discussed, yeah.
So there is no
Uprana is
any
not-
fixed location of uprana?
No. In this text, we can say no. But in some other yogic texts, you can find, like 1, 2 pranas, they have some location. Even I have mentioned for 2, you can just refer that, okay? The main thing is function and the particular region, because in Vashishtha Samhita, they have described some add-on regions, okay? Like for Pranavayu, they have told the toes also for Pranavayu. None other text told like that, okay? So you have to remember that thing. What is different from the other text? Got it? Then we have chapter 3, that is, we'll going to discuss in the next this thing, okay? So till now we have discussed all this, like chapter 1 and chapter 2 topics, okay? So from the next class, we'll discuss the chapter 3. Till that, I wish you people should read these 2 chapters by your own also, so that if you have any doubt, we can just discuss in later, like classes, and we'll move further to the next chapter.
If all are agree, you can continue by one. I don't know any issue.
Like you people have to tell that. If
No,
you
no,
will
continue.
say me, I will continue to, like whole day, I will cover it today only. If you people are comfortable to, to be receptive. If you are receptive, I can continue. Otherwise, we'll discuss in the next class. Tell me.
Okay for me as well, ma'am.
Only 5 people are there. 2 have responded. What about the other people? Oh, sorry. 2. Yeah, Gauri, you can say.
Yeah,
You want-
I'm agree with that. That's why I have hand the raise.
Okay. Yeah, Rupa, tell me.
Ma'am, continue, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You will
So
continue.
should I continue, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll do the pranayama thing. Okay. So chapter 3 deals mainly with Omkar pranayama, pranajay, how to conquer or control or win prana, and the pratyahara thing. And pratyahara including the 8 vital points, that is marmasthan. So pranayama, that is the shloka 3.2, pranayama described as the appropriate union of prana and apana, which has been said in Hatha Yoga text. And pranayama is said to be constituted of its 3 parts. Pranayama has 3 subunits, that is Rechak, Purak and Kumbhak. Rechak is controlled exhalation, Purak is controlled inhalation, and Kumbhak is breath retention, controlled breath retention. And these 3 process or 3 components of pranayama is here in this text has been related to the pranam or the syllable of om, a, u or ma or a, u, m. Okay. So the pranayama is identical to pranava, and that is why it is known as omkar pranayama. So pranava is declared as a unit of vowel in Vedas. Okay, and which is well established in Upanishad also, because certain Upanishad deals with this kind of pranav, dhyan, pranav, omkar, and all those things they have discussed. Even Patanjali Yoga Sutra emphasize on pranav. So the letter denotes what these 3 letters of om, a, u or ma denotes is: A is for creation, U is for sustenance, M is for annihilation. Okay, that is A means breathing in, creating the things. U is retention, nurturing the things, and Ma, exhaling out, breathing out is destroying the things. Okay, these are the correlation of U
Explain in
and
Hindi.
sorry.
We may also explain in Hindi.
Okay, so the a, u and ma, ठीक है, जो अ उ और म जो शब्द हैं ओमकार प्राणायाम के, इसको हम उत्पत्ति, नरिशमेंट यानी कि उसको पालन करना और उसको डिस्ट्रॉय करना, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना ब्रह्मा विष्णु और महेश, तो अ उ और म ब्रह्मा विष्णु और महेश है। ब्रह्मा बनाते हैं सृष्टि को, विष्णु क्या करते हैं उसको चलाते हैं, और म क्या करते हैं यानी कि शिवा क्या करते हैं उसको डिस्ट्रॉय करते हैं. So similarly, it has been said that breathing in, retention, and breathing out, u or ma. So this thing, if you remember this table, you can just, like know all the things about Omkar Pranayama, which can be questioned in your exams. So the letter a, u, and ma, their deity, their age, their color, what is the animal or the riding they are riding on, and how to hold that. Okay. So the a or a syllable is resembling the deity Gayatri or Saraswati, okay, which is of the age 16, when they are very young, because they are breathing in, right? They are red in color.
What is the meaning of age here, madam?
The deity's age is written. Okay, this
deity
deity
of
is of
age.
16-year age, yeah. And the color is of also the deity. Okay, the riding on or this riding on is also of for the deity, and they are holding what like जैसे बोलते हैं ना भगवान चक्र धारण किए हैं, गदा धारण किए हैं, like that they are holding some of the ornaments or thing. Okay, they are holding their this thing, astra or shastra, whatever it is. Okay, so the a syllable a is resembling the deity Gayatri and Saraswati. It is of age 16, which is red in color and riding swan, holding the staff. Okay. Further, the U or Ukara, the deity is Chakradharani or Maheshwari, which is of age 30 years. It's quite adult, color is white, riding an eagle and holding the wheel disc as like Vishnu. Further, the Ma, or which is the deity which is controlling the Ma or the destroying things, is Savitri, which have 3 eyes, or Pashchima. There is a previous year question that the letter M is resembled to which deity. So you have to remember the Savitri and Pashchima. Okay, you have to remember these deities with their color and riding on. And it is of age 50, which is white in color again and riding on bull, holding the spear. Okay, if you remember this table, your Onkar Pranayama is, like fabulous. You don't have to read anything else for that.
Madam, AU Ma also represents Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, right?
Yeah. Not
But
for
here-
Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Here the deity and their resemblance and characteristics have been shown. This letter resembles Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh also. Not in this text, but in certain text. Okay. This text, they have already, told the deities for these 3, U, and Ma. Okay. And their relation with the breath component, that is breathing in, retention, and breathing out, U or Ma. Right? Then, after dealing with the components of pranayama, they have discussed the kumbhaka. They have told that there are 2 types of kumbhaka, sahit and kevala. Sahit is we have something attached to it. Okay, means we had inhalation and exhalation we are doing. Kevala is only retention. Okay, so if a person accomplishes retention of air along with inhalation and exhalation, this is called sahit kumbhak. Means after inhaling or after exhaling, you are holding the breath. That is your sahit kumbhak. But when he or she or the yogi is comfortable retention of pranayama without exhalation and inhalation, that is called keval kumbhak, which has been said in all other texts. Keval kumbhak is similar to every text. When we don't even require to inhale or exhale, okay, that is keval kumbhak pranayama. Until kevala is accomplished, one should continue the practice of sahita. जब तक केवल कुंभक की प्राप्ति ना हो जाए तब तक सहिता करना है. Means you have to master your kevala by practicing sahita. Okay. Then what are the benefits of kumbhak discussed here are: nothing is unobtainable for him in all the 3 worlds. One who achieves kumbhak, keval kumbhak. Means if you are a master of keval kumbhak, you can do anything, you can have anything. Okay. And he attains the speed of
What
mind.
means by 3 worlds here?
3 worlds. This Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. 3 worlds are there, na? 3 lok.
आकाश, पताल और पृथ्वी.
तल 3 तल होते हैं ना बेसिकली.
मतलब आकाश और धरती और पताल है ना.
Yeah, you can say like that. Then who establish kumbhaka or who achieves kumbhaka can attain the speed of mind, and the wrinkles and the old age symptoms will disappear. Means the signs of aging will disappear from that particular person who achieves or masters keval kumbhak. Okay, and this path ceases death because your aging process have been stopped, so you can easily win over your death. This kumbhak pranayama begets nada. Means after attaining kumbhaka, once you get master over kumbhak, you will start hearing the nada sound or the inner sound. Okay. And further, the pranayama signifies retention of the pranayama, etc. within the body, and this path of conquering prana, which annihilates the death completely. Means this keval kumbhak can make you win over your death. And beside this, Vashishtha also explains some other ways to achieve this pranajay or conquering the prana. This is the one way you can just control your prana and your, death. There are other ways also Vashishtha have been told in this particular text. Before that, he had discussed the methods of pranayama. Okay. So we'll discuss the method of pranayama first, then we'll see the pranajay, methods of pranajay or conquering your prana. So it has been advised that practice of pranayama with bij mantra and without mantra while performing Keval Kumbhak. Means we have already seen that we have to practice Sahit Kumbhak until you are master at Keval Kumbhak. So what you have to do is with Bij Mantra and without Bij Mantra, you have to practice Sahit Kumbhak. So inhale from the left nostril while concentrating on
Here it is written Keval Kumbhak or Sahit Kumbhak.
Sorry.
With Bij and without Bij is Keval. Here it is written as Keval Kumbhak. Is it Sahit Kumbhak?
Like what we are discussing is here they have told that you have to with Bij Mantra. Okay, you have to practice Sahit Kumbhak. Okay.
In the first line, what is written here, ma'am? Advised practice of pranayama with Bij Mantra and without Bij Mantra while performing Keval Kumbhak.
Keval Kumbhak, correct. So while doing the Sahit Kumbhak, you have to use the Bij Mantra. While Keval Kumbhak, you don't need anything. That is why it is called Keval Kumbhak, Sirf Kumbhak.
Yeah, but here you have written Keval, so I'm getting doubt. Is it Sahit Kumbhak?
Kevals are different. Sahit Kumbhak is different. Sahit means they have something out of it. Means with Bij Mantra they are practiced. Okay. Keval word itself means only. Only Kumbhak. Means here in Keval Kumbhak nothing is there. Only Keval Kumbhak is there. Mantra is for Sahit one. Okay.
Okay,
So what is
without
the Bij
mantra.
Mantra?
Okay, it's without mantra. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So what is the
We'll
Bij
discuss.
Mantra?
Yeah, we are discussing it. So inhale from the left nostril, concentrating on A. Okay, that is the syllable A is here the Bij Mantra, you can say. Okay, concentrating for 16 matra while inhaling from left nostril, retention while concentrating on U for 64 matra, and exhaling from right with concentrating on Ma and A again. Because ending is always in beginning. Okay. So like Ma and A together are for 32 matras while exhaling. And repeat the same procedure with the right and continuous, vice versa. Correct? This is the method of pranayama which has been discussed. Also, it has been said
Ma is not a Bij Mantra, it is a syllable, right?
syllable only is here as set to the Bij. Here to concentrate on. In Keval Kumbhak, you don't have to concentrate of these syllables. Bij mantras are what? These are the single word to concentrate on. Okay. So here you have to concentrate on A, U and Ma while inhaling, retention of the breath and exhaling. This is the said at Sahit Kumbhak or Sahit Pranayama. In Keval Kumbhak, you don't have to, have to concentrate on any syllable, any word, anything. You just have to retain your breath. That is Keval Kumbhak. And this Sahit Kumbhak Pranayama, which has been said, or Onkar Pranayama, this had to be practiced 16 pranayama per day. Nothing else is mentioned for this thing. 16 in chunks, 16 how much time? 16 pranayama per day you have to practice. That's it. This is the only thing they have mentioned in the text.
So
Okay?
one pranayama is a second point, right? Inhale from left nostril and 60 matra and 64 matra and 32 matra. This is one pranayama.
This is one. So 16 pranayama per day you have to do. Okay.
16 matra means?
16 matra is like we used to tell now 1/4 2. The ratio counts. Matra is count basically. 16 count, 64 count, 32 count. That is 1, 4, 2. Right? That is the ratio of doing pranayama. Then 16 pranayama per day you have to do. And devoted sadhak who are purified with pranayama reach the supreme within the month and destroy all the sins. Means those who are practicing with devotion, with more serious, taking this serious thing with all the rules and regulation, can just achieve that supreme thing in a month and can destroy all their sins and bad deeds. Further, the Vashishtha said, pranayama is rescue for those who are drowned in the ocean of the world. Because what it is said that we humans are entrapped in this world, materialistic world, okay? And these is causing us to get attached and leading to the viscous cycle of death and rebirth, okay? So these pranayama can, like rescue from that thing, death and rebirth. Further, they have discussed 3 types of sadhakas, pranayama sadhakas. They have 3 categories. That is adhyama, those practitioners which induce sweating while doing the pranayama. Madhyama, the symptom is tremor. Those who are having tremor while doing the pranayama, they are madhyama. And uttama, that is levitation or the floating thing. Okay. These are the signs and signs resembling to the category of their practice. Means if one is getting tremors while doing the pranayama, they are of madhyam gati sadhaka, or the moderate sadhaka they are. So like that, they have told about the 3 categories of sadhaka. And continuous practice.
पहला जो है उसमें क्या पसीना बहेगा, दूसरे में
ट्रिमर्स, कंपन होंगे,
और तीसरे में,
और तीसरे में बॉडी बहुत हल्की हो जाएगी, वो उड़ने लगेगी. लेविटेशन, लाइटनेस ऑफ द बॉडी एंड फ्लोटिंग, मूविंग अहेड like from the ground. Okay, so continuous practice till reaches the uttama. So one has to practice until they reach the levitation stage, which results in prana got absorbed in the body and one get delighted. Okay, because once they yogi achieves the pranayama, they are having some good symptoms over that, which you have already discussed. And at the highest level, stage in which there is complete cessation of respiration and it becomes natural tendency. As a result, one is capable of doing Keval Kumbha. Means with these practice of Sahit Kumbha, once you are able to sustain that inhalation and exhalation tendency, you are able to do, or you can achieve the Keval Kumbha. This has been said in the Vashishtha Samhita. Then after pranayama, as we have told, pranayama is the one way to win the prana. The other ways which I have discussed are, prana may be conquered actually through the air drawn inside from the outside of the body, filling the stomach, then concentrating it at the toe, the navel and the nose tip. Means 3 places they have told, that is toe, navel and the nose tip. While inhaling, anyhow, when we inhale, our stomach bulges out. While inhaling, fill the stomach with air and concentrate on toe, navel and tip of the nose in sequence. Further, second, restraining forcibly all the senses from their objects, drawing upward.
See, 34 to 38 is a slok number, right?
Yeah, 34 to 35 shlok number. Then at 36 shlok of chapter 3, it has been said that restraining forcibly all the senses from their object, drawing upward the vayu apana, which is noxious to life. A yogi should stop it at the place of fire and fix it there only. Means you have to just make apan and pran at the union, okay? So that you can just achieve the prana. Further, they have said that one should close well ear, etc. senses, mean eyes, nose, mouth, ears. That Shanmukhi Mudra quite we can say, but they have not named it at Shanmukhi Mudra. Okay, you just have to close all the senses by both the hands. One should close up his capacity, the ears with the thumb, the eyes with the forefingers, 2 nostrils with the middle finger. By this, an act of nada or sound resembling a pure crystal is produced. So this is the one way to conquer prana. Okay. 3 we have discussed: inhaling, focusing on toe, navel and nose tip. Second, union of prana and apan. Third is Shanmukhi Mudra and resembling or listening the nada. Okay. Then they have discussed little bit about the nada. Within the Brahmarandra of Shushumna, as a fiber of the lotus stem, because it is the center of the body, like stalk or tunnel kind of thing it is, the nada diffuses up to the head, raised like veena dand or rod of flute. Everybody has seen veena, right? That's a musical instrument. So similarly, they have made a irony that Shushumna, once get prana flow into that, it just raises to the head or Sahasrara and it make noises as the veena made. Okay. Beginning from the nada means the beginning nada is of couch or the shankh. Shankh ki आवाज आती है, couch blow की आवाज आती है, beginning of the nada. Then middle, thunder. thunder is at cloud thunder. Okay. And the third, mountain stream at the Vyom is heard. And then the yogi attend place and conquers the wild. So now the method one can conquer prana. Then they have discussed about the kundalini. And the later sit in swastikasana on a mat with subdue senses, means the controlled senses out of the objects, concentrate on the mind mentally and repeat the pranav or do the pranav jap, meditation and chanting of pranava or omkara. Through this process, prana, that is apan, harmful to longevity, reaches to the region of fire and stay fixed there. Practice till the mind get merged with these concentration at the middle of the navel. The air attains a circular form because it get, it get the fire air and it will just move it like anything. So it will get the spear shape and the air attains a circular form and there is increase of heat, because of which indeed serpent kundalini gets awakened due to this heat production. And having awakened, when the naga starts throbbing, this is the prana, naga prana starts throbbing, or the kundalini starts throbbing while meditating continuously on Omkara, raises the air there to the Brahmarandra within the Shushumna. Means doing pranav jap in swastikasana, moving the apana, activating the apana by practice of Omkara jap will awake your kundalini and will result in conquering your prana, which results in enlightenment of soul, which shines like anything else possessed in all accessory, sub-accessory, like sun in the sky. Kundalini will awaken. Okay. So this has been tell like Omkar Pranayama and your Pranajay methods. Then they have discussed about Pratyahara. So these are the slokas. So what they have said is there are four types of
Pratyahara is different from pranayama, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But they have
Pratyahara is
discussed
a
both.
different limb of yoga.
Sorry.
Pranayama and Pratyahara are two different limbs of yoga, na?
So it is discussed in same chapter.
Same chapter, yeah. Chapter 4. Chapter 3,
Okay.
sorry. Chapter 3 had discussed Pranayama and Pratyahara only. And Pranajay. These three things have been discussed in chapter 3. So Pratyahara are of four types. They are, first is withdrawal of senses, which by nature indulge in the sense object, as we already read in several texts. So one is that. Second is whatever one sees, all that should be seen in oneself, within self. Means aham brahmasmi is the concept of second pratyahara. Means you have to look that God into yourself and to the other human beings too. Okay. The third one is the performance of the obligatory duty mentally within the self and without any external aids. Means following that rituals which has been said in scriptures, Vedas, and anything, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Means man, kram, vachan. Through all the three things, you have to follow those obligatory practices. Okay, that is the one way to achieve pratyahara. And the last way is holding the air successively at the 18 vital points or marmasthana, and after pulling it from that, moving to the preceding point. Means moving that prana to every vital points, concentrating on one, then achieving that, moving to the next. Throughout the 18 vital points, you have to do this. One should focus the air or the prana on these places and withdraw it from each and every place by mentally projecting Vayu onto these locations. And this is considered to be the finest pratyahara. Means marmasthan kind of pratyahara is the best practice of pratyahara. Other than that, three practices have been said. That is withdrawal of senses. Second, imagining that Lord or self in every human being. Okay. And doing the obligatory duties. So what
Could
are
you
those?
please explain all the 4 points in Hindi once?
Okay. So सबसे पहला है कि सारे जो इंद्रियां हैं उनको उनके विषयों से हटा लें. सेकंड, वो कहते हैं ना कि सब में नारायण है, सब में उस ब्रह्मा का अंश है. तो यू हैव टू लुक दैट सेल्फ इन एवरीवन. मींस होल द सारे जो ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हैं वो सब ब्रह्म के अंश हैं. जो ब्रह्म आप में है वही उनमें. यू हैव टू सी दैट. ओके. एंड थर्ड इज वेदास और स्क्रिप्चर्स के अकॉर्डिंग अपने कर्मों को करना है, नॉलेज रखते हुए. दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ प्रत्याहार. एंड द फोर्थ और लास्ट वन इज मर्मस्थान. That are 18 vital points. You have to draw the concentration at one point, hold it, then moving to the next. Like that you have to do in the 18 points. Okay. So the 18 vital points or marmasthan have been discussed from the shloka 3.62 to 3.73. And this is the structure they have given for the 18 marmasthan. From big toe to the Brahmarandra. They have moved in the ascending order. Okay. From below to upwards. They have moved. Okay. So what you have to do is just the name of the vital point and their distance. Distance has not yet asked, but the common thing you have to remember it. Okay. If you can remember it by diagram or by, like by hurting by yourself, you can do it in that way. So what are those vital points are Pad Angush, that is big toe, which is 0 finger, because these counting is starting from the big toe itself. Okay. And these 18 vital points are very different from 16 adharas. Don't get confused in these two. Okay. Marma points are different. Adhara are different. So first is Padangush, that is big toe, which is 0 fingers. Then Gulf or ankles, which is 4.5 fingers distance from the preceding point. From these Padangush or the big toe, it is 4.5 finger breadth to the ankle. Okay, like that you have to measure. Yeah, they have measured the 18 vital points of the body. Then Jangha Madhya or the middle of the calf, that is 10 finger from the big toe. And then Sthitimul, that is upper end of the shin bone, that is 11 finger. Then Janu or knee, that is 2 finger. From the last point, they are calculating this. Okay. For example, from Sthitimul, Pindika Madhya, from here to Janu Mul, they have certain distance. From Janu Mul to Janu, they have certain distance. Okay. Like that, they are measuring into the finger breadth. Okay. Finger breadth they have measured, or Angul they have measured. Then Uru Madhya, that is middle of the thigh. From Janu, that is 9 finger. Then Payumul, root of the anus, that is again 9 fingers. Then Deh Madhya, 2.5 fingers from the perineum. Okay. Then from the perineum, that is reproductive organ, that is 2.5 fingers. Then from the reproductive organ, 10.5 fingers to the Nabhi. Okay. And from the Nabhi, 14 fingers to the Hriday or heart. From the heart, there is 6 fingers to the cavity of throat and Kanthakupa. From that, 4 fingers to the Jivha Mool or root of the tongue, 4 fingers to the nose, 5 fingers to the Akshimandala, that is the region of the eyes, 0.5 fingers, sorry. 0.5 fingers from there is Bhrumadhya or the mid eyebrow center. From eyebrow center, there is 2 finger breadth to forehead and 3 finger breadth to Murdha or the Bregham, the top of the head, vertex of the head. Okay, these are 18 vital points you have to remember. Also, it has been previously asked that what is the 8th point of the Marmasthan. So you have to remember this in sequence. Better you, whenever you try to remember this, remember with the diagram so that you can remember the position exactly, because it's easy to just locate the points over the body rather than remembering this. Okay.
मैडम इसके पहले वाले स्लाइड में जाएं एक बार.
जी
इसके पहले वाले.
इसके पहले तो प्रत्याहार
हाँ, ये इसमें 4 पॉइंट में क्या कहना चाह रहा है?
ये जो 18 पॉइंट्स है इसमें आपको ध्यान करके प्रत्याहार करना है, वायु को ले जाना है, फोकस
सेंसेस
करना
को
है.
निकालना है, राइट?
सॉरी,
ये 18 पॉइंट्स को क्या
हाँ.
कैसे किस रूप में प्रत्याहार करना है, मतलब उसको
Just you
क्या
have
करना
to remember the big toe. Imagine that your prana is there in the big toe. Focus on that. Then slowly moving to the next point. Like that you have to take.
So I'm
Moving to the
moving one
ankle.
point to other point. This is
Yeah.
मतलब प्रत्याहार.
Yeah, that is the 18 marm sthan pratyahara. Okay. So we'll go further or we'll continue in the next class. I guess everyone is.
It is already more than one.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling.
So better to
Continue,
continue
ma'am.
in the next class.
Okay. So what the other two people wants, like, because already
And
one,
continue now.
I should continue?
Hi.
No, it is already one, madam. So how long we can continue?
Like, you people have, or
Two
because already
chapters is there, Kadama.
sorry,
Only two chapters, 4 or 5.
but yeah, but there are some important contents you have to deal with. Like there are more than 20 slides over these 2 chapters.
No, madam, let us have in the next class.
Next
Okay.
class Sunday, same time, Mama.
Yeah,
10:30.
we will inform you. Like this coaching people will tell you that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Most probably it will be there in the Sunday only. So be prepared,
Okay.
like to have a long class, because when you do the continuous kind of study, now you will get the concept very clear. If I'll teach one chapter today, from the next week you will forget all the chapters. Okay. So like that, it's quite difficult to remember the thing in sequence. So
We
try to
have to
have,
complete total 6 chapter, right?
yeah, we have to complete 6 chapters.
So only 2 chapter is remaining, huh?
Yeah.
So I think by next class it will be complete, no?
But yeah, that is more, like conscious kind of thing. You need to attend that, because types of sadhana, dharana, dhyan, they have quite, like elaborative they are. So it's better we can continue in the next class also. I don't have any issues with that.
Yeah, you can continue next
You're
class.
providing the whole PPT now?
They have not told me yet, because this is my first class, so I'm not well aware when to share PPT and all those things.
Okay.
I will update you after asking it, okay? They will ask me to share it today, I will share it today, or else after completing the course, I will share it. Once I'll contact the
Okay.
organizers and I will let you know, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
But
Okay.
otherwise, what you have taught, you can share maybe after asking.
Yeah, sure. After, like, I will discuss once with the managers and I will share you that, okay? So, like, my pace and studying thing is good, right? You are getting the points. You can just brief me, like anybody can brief, like, is it fine? The pace is fine, or I should go fast or slow, anything like that? Any comments?
Very nice, ma'am, class.
Okay, thank you so much.
You can understand very easy.
Okay, that's what I want. Like, it will either take more time, I don't mind, but you should clear with the points, or you just
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to go through the.
Samhita,
Sorry?
total they have discussed about total 10 asanas and only one pranayam, Nadi Shodhan, right?
That is Nadi Shuddhi. Omkar Pranayama is discussed.
So only one pranayam, Omkar
Yeah.
pranayam.
Yeah. But when it has been asked for the classification, you have to tell that there are 2 types of kumbhak, Sahit and Keval. Okay.
So 10 asanas, one pranayam.
10 Yam Niyam Asan. Okay.
Yeah.
Then Pratyahar 4. Then
Yeah.
Pranayama 2.
Pranayam 1.
Pranayama are basically 3 components and 2 practices. 3 components are Purak, Rechak, Kumbhak. Practices are Sahit and Keval Kumbhak. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. And then 4 Pratyahar, 18 Marma points, and all those things have been discussed.
So Pratyahar, Dhana, Dhyan is Samadhi, and here is Antaranga Yoga, and
Correct.
Yam
Yam
Niyam.
Niyam Asan Pranayama is Bahirang Yoga.
But in remaining other Hatha Yoga, the 5 is Bahirang, and then only
Correct.
3 is
This
Antaranga.
is the difference in this text, na? 4 Antarang and 4 Bahirang. That is the main difference we have to remember. It has already been asked in one paper. That what are the Antarangs according to Vashishtha Samhita. So you have to remember this difference. Also, we'll discuss in the later class a comparative study of all the Hatha Yoga texts. Okay. So during that, we can like
Okay, ma'am.
more clearly understand what all points are discussed in other chapters, other texts, and here. So that will be easy to remember, you people, okay?
So we will also compare all the Hatha Yoga text.
Hatha Yoga,
That would be
Pradipika,
helpful.
Hiran Samhita, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I will compare all the things with
How many
Vashishtha.
asanas, how many pranayamams, everything we will discuss.
Everything I will discuss, yeah.
Oh,
Okay?
okay, thank
Okay,
you.
ma'am.
Okay, have
Thank
a
you,
happy
ma'am.
Sunday.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.